of my face. Blaze made it hard to find my way. Thought you was trapped in a burning room, and it smoked out the courage in you. Yeah. Cause I'd have been real low, didn't think I'd make it up this far. Hey, ain't know what I was in for, only made it through with my kinfolk. Hey, and I love them like cooked food, they showed up like some good news. Ain't know what I done been through, but thank God we don't look like we've been through. Last year was a fire, but now I'm gone. Walked out a survivor, out of the storm. It came down to the wire, no slack call. Last year was a fire, now I'm gold. Walk around like I'm gold. Gold look good on you, the glow look good on you. Hey. Gold look good on you, the glow look good on you. Walk around like I'm gold. Gold look good on you, glow look good on you. Yeah, gold look good on you, glow look good on you. Still trying to get used to the smile on my face. It's been a while since I've seen it this way. So far from being stuck in my bed. Oh, finally got control of my head. Yeah. Cause I'd have been real low, didn't think I'd make it out this far. Ain't know what I was in for, only made it through with my kinfolk. Hey, I love them like cooked food. Yeah. They showed up like some good news. Yeah. Ain't know what I've been through, but thank God we don't look like we've been through. Last year was a fire, now I'm gold. Walked out a survivor, out of the storm. It came down to the wire, no slack call. Last year was a fire, now I'm gold. Walk around like I'm gold. Gold look good on you, gold look good on you. Oh yeah, gold look good on you, gold look good on you. Walk around like I'm gold. Gold look good on you, gold look good on you. Gold look good on you, gold look good on you. Oh yeah, hey, you know what we've been through. We don't look like what we've been through. You don't know what we've been through. We don't look like what we've been through.
Hey, we don't look like what we've been through. Thanks for riding with me, y'all. Y'all know I like to kind of set the mood, set the tone for myself, you know what I'm saying, before we get everything started. Good morning to everybody. Happy Sunday. Whether you're watching live or on the replay, welcome to another episode of the LA Project. I hope everybody's having a great one, getting a breakfast in, you know what I'm saying, getting a little coffee. So, you know what I'm saying, I got one left. Fruits, man. You got to get your fruits in. If you can't, sometimes you can eat your water. Pause. But you can, you know what I'm saying? Getting your intake of fruits and vegetables can make sure you stay hydrated and get all the extra vitamins and things that you need. Okay. So please go ahead, tell a friend that we live. Come on in, hit the like button. It's absolutely free. And we get ready to start the show. All right. Let's talk Nature Boy and carbonation. Let's go.
The world is a real place where things aren't perfect. It's all about the journey. And where are you going? Fire in my eyes, I keep on growing. This is a little personal, the LA Project Show.
Doctor?
my violin. Shouts out to y'all. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. It's time to start the show. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Let me turn this down. All right. Shouts out to everybody in the building. Y'all go ahead. Yep. Drop on. Come on. Drop on out the clouds, man. Say hi. Don't do me like that. What's going on, Keon? We got Young Riaz and the Cynical One up in the building. All right. Hold on. Still too loud. Give me a second. Okay. That's better. All right. Y'all make sure that y'all hit the like button on the way in. You know what I'm saying? That costs you nothing. Helps out the channel so much. Lets me know, you know what I'm saying, I'm doing the right thing, that y'all want to see me keep coming back, you know what I'm saying, with more what's on my mind, right? So I just wanted to, you know what I'm saying, do a stream because I don't know, certain things I have followed, you know, like I have certain cases and certain situations that I've actually been a witness of, like, since, you know, way back when type stuff. And when it comes to fruition, it's always kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've followed different people like on Instagram and things like that. This is back in the day, for one reason or another, because they were influencer, they made products or whatever, and then the next thing you know, I see them have a book published, or now they got a whole line of cosmetics that that's found in major stores and stuff. Like even hair companies, like, you know, Carol's Daughter, like there was an independent hair salon that I used to go to back in the early 2000s. This is even when I, you know, was still getting relaxers and stuff like that, so it's a long time ago. But they always had these jars of whipped body butters, you know, and stuff like that, and it was Carol's Daughter. So I would buy them, you know what I'm saying, on my way out, so I can gift them to my mom and my sister, things like that. But it's always really, like, I don't know, it's kind of crazy, you know, when things that you find special, that maybe like, or different or interesting, that the rest of the world doesn't, and then come to find out it actually was a little something for you to be paying attention to. So I wanted to talk about cult-like activity and also review the Nature Boy documentary. Of course, I can't do it in the way that we would like to, with the visuals and all that stuff, because, you know, shouts out to Hulu. They put it together and everything, but you know how they do. I'm not trying to get struck like that. So we're just gonna have to talk about it. But I did find some of the original live streams that he used to do, so you guys can take get a real feel of how this gentleman, you know what I'm saying, how Nature Boy, Eligio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, handled the cult, and some of his ideologies. You will actually be able to see that, because I do have some of the live streams, okay, that he had put out. Now, this is something that has been evolving. I think it started on Facebook, eventually to Instagram, to YouTube, and now the world. All right. Oh, can't forget Bigo. Bigo was that was a whole nother level, because you know it's the Wild West over there. What's going on, Candy Cane? Good morning to you. Good show yesterday. Sorry I had to drop, but I had to make a run, and then the panel got full, so I was just like, yeah, let me just listen from the clouds. But good show. That was a good topic, and I think that I'd like to do some more of those, if you don't mind. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of things like I had put into, like, or I did a show maybe 2 shows ago, like, it's starting to make sense, because there's always a backstory, you know what I'm saying, to why people are the way they are. You know, nobody's just born this way. You know, I think it's a mixture of nature and nurture, and it should be explored. All right. So who else we got up in here? The chat is chat. I love you guys. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just get along so well. Everybody just, is cool and chill up in here. We got the plug in the building. He says, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. All right. So I have been kind of busy. Before we get into the Nature Boy stuff, and first of all, how many people out there have actually watched the show, have actually watched the documentary, or are aware of, I guess, the whole situation? If you have, you know what? Never mind. Let me put this poll in the chat real quick, because I want to know how many people have actually watched the documentary. Because believe it or not, I don't know, like, there's always a saying that women like crime shows and stuff, and there might be some, some truth to that. We've done a show on that some months ago. Who is Nature Boy? Okay, well, you gonna get an education today. He's got a documentary. It's a four-part episode series on Hulu that they put together. And you know what? It's so amazing. That's what you just never know when you're doing this content stuff, because when they actually arrested the whole group, or arrested him and started with his trial, there was at least like 3 or 4 content creators whose streams were used against him. You know what I'm saying? Like, to really show the severity of like the harm that he's doing. And again, a lot of people, they just think, oh, this is just the internet. This is just the internet. Y'all have no idea, or just underestimate how far the web spreads. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it includes into people's minds. But hang on just one second. Let me put this poll into the chat. Y'all make sure you hit the like button for me, please. Okay. Give me 1 second. Damn, that shit was loud. Okay. Let me see here. Oh, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. My bad, y'all. Y'all give me just 1 second. Might have to go to my live. I got so many damn tabs open. But no, I haven't really been around that much. I've been kind of refocusing some things. I'm working behind the scenes on another certification, just something that will kind of solidify me and my family's future, especially financially. So y'all forgive me if I've neglected the chat. I've neglected my moderating duties, neglected y'all streams. My bad. I know you understand. Shouts out to all the new subs out there. Make sure that you turn that notification bell on. So you know when I go live. I don't really have set days and stuff. All right, let me just put this poll in the chat really quick. All right, so I want to know how many of y'all have actually heard of Nature Boy. So I did put a poll in the chat really quick. Y'all go ahead and chime in. Give me your answers, there. Oh, appreciate it. Braces go a long way. But you know what? I don't know. It's like the shape of my cheeks and stuff. Like what happens when it's, I know. I feel you. Appreciate you. Not as bussin' though. That's an interesting word. Yeah, I did. I like a lot of crime stuff. I watched the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial, like all the testimony from like beginning to end. I watched the Daryl Brooks situation where he, unfortunately drove through a fucking parade in Milwaukee. I watched that. Ahmaud Arbery, I followed that very intently. I don't know. I just like to I don't know. Maybe you call me nosy. I don't know. But sometimes I just like to know why. You know what I'm saying? Why is something going on? Why is something happening? Whatever. If y'all don't see the poll right now, just exit out the chat and like refresh and come back in, and you should be able to see it and put your vote in. But no, I've been on a little, like I said, just kind of focusing on some different stuff. And but I've wanted to talk about something in particular because I've been noticing it in a lot of people's in their titles of their streams and stuff like that. And I mean, all right, I think that men and women should be able to coexist, you know what I'm saying, on the internet, on these panels and things like that. But it seems like, you know, that there's still like, you know, some imbalance, and I understand the frustration. You know, there's some sentiments going around about women not supporting certain panels, especially, I guess, the opposite sex, but you know, the male panels and things like that. I just had a couple of thoughts about that, and then we'll get into Nature Boy. Like I said, y'all go ahead and participate in the poll. Let me know if you've heard about him or not, to see, you know, how in depth I need to get with this. All right. So even recently, probably in the past like couple months, there was even an issue with women participating on panels, being quote unquote protected, or at least being able to be heard, at least. All right. I get it, you know what I'm saying? Like, live shows, they're not scripted, of course, but at the same time, there is a flow and there's a format, you know, that you have to kind of keep in mind as a panelist, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a content creator and a panelist, that kind of just helps the flow of the show go on, you know? So even if you don't get everything out in terms of your opinion, you know what I'm saying? Like, you always got your own channel, so you can come back on your stuff, you know, and you know, kind of just speak your mind on how you see fit, right? So it's funny because I've been accused of agreeing with the men too much. To me, again, whatever, man. If you call it agreeance, fine. You know, I can see the point in logic. If you can break it down, if you can actually try to explain it to me in a form that, like I said, still wasn't what I would have did, but okay, I get your point. Like, I don't see what's wrong with that. Sometimes it's not worth over pursuing a point, you know what I'm saying? If you're dealing with somebody on a panel who is just being contrary to whatever that you're saying, hey, all right, cool, I hear what you're saying, whatever, all right. But that's why I like to be on camera, because body language also is a part of the equation. It's not always what people say, but it's how they act, you know what I'm saying? How they look when they do it, or sometimes not, you know, when they're saying nothing at all. They roll their eyes, you know, if they make a face or whatever, if they laugh on mute, it gives you more context, right? But it's not about agreeing with some of the guys. It's about being comfortable enough in a certain environment to where you can express yourself. And that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like mixed panels. I do. I don't want an echo chamber. I don't want somebody that's always going to agree with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm about expansion. Like, I'm about learning some new shit. You know, put me on to something. You know, that's what I'm on. Or at least let me try to tell you what I've known or what I've learned and experienced and stuff like that. But I don't mind a little intellectual sparring. But unfortunately, it's just because, like, most of the time when women have an opinion, you know, it's just that's automatically deemed as being disrespectful. And it's just like, oh, well, shit. Yeah, that's when everybody wants to become feminist and be like, okay, well, shoot, I feel offended. I feel disrespected. So I'm finna handle you like a nigga. Like, anyway. So I understand the frustration, you know what I mean? Especially if you're a person that has been supporting and showing up, you know, for a certain, you know, for a certain channel and things like that. But we'll get into that in just a second. But it's not about agreeing all the time. It's just about being comfortable enough. Like, my brother gets on my goddamn nerves, but I love him, you know what I'm saying? And I would have any conversation with him, and we would go back and forth, and we would argue with a damn smile on our face, like, and go back to everything like it's nothing, and that's how it should be. Those are places that I like to frequent, you know what I'm saying? But let's keep it real. The ladies, we bring the numbers, man. Like, similar to ladies night at the club or anything like that. We want to see variety. We want to see something a little new, something a little different or whatever. And especially when the women are on camera. It's a big benefit to any content creator because it benefits the quality of your stream. I don't know why I was stuck for the word for benefit. It's a good thing for your stream. You know what I'm saying? The quality of the stream goes up when you can actually see the people because, like I said, you get more context with their body language and all that stuff, all those unspoken things, right? You kind of get a little bit of peek into it. So it's like we can't act like women don't benefit, you know what I'm saying, any channel. And I mean, there's different reasons. I think that a lot of guys, especially the content creators, they actually like to have conversations with women. So it's like, I don't really focus on the motive 100%. I just focus on what I'm there for. And most of the time it's just to enjoy myself and to, like I said, even challenge my own thoughts. If I'm saying I'm standing on something, then I should be able to explain this to a complete stranger and then at least understand what I'm talking about. That's just how I feel. Give me a second, y'all. I'm sorry, I have notes, so I'm not paying attention to the chat right now, but I will catch up with y'all momentarily. If you're new in the building, shouts out to everybody. Go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe if you have not. Welcome to all the new subscribers in the past couple of weeks. I really appreciate all the support. All right. Yeah, so I don't really focus on the motive of the actual content creator. It's just more of like, okay, because all this stuff is live. If I'm a fellow content creator or whatever, it's a good topic that's going on, I have something to contribute to it. Guess what? That means that's something that I could potentially clip, repurpose for my own self. So it's not about the overall conversation. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think we all are, here for different reasons. And most of the time it's for entertainment and to enjoy ourselves. But sometimes it's for other reasons, and that's okay too. But I do want to say something really quick because I think people in general need to keep in check their expectations. Okay. There was actually a video that we reviewed the last episode. He was Lee Hammond, I believe is his name. He's a diagnosed narcissist that makes content about narcissism and narcissistic people and tendencies. And he said something like, and I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember, but I do vaguely remember. He said something like expectations are basically an agreement for resentment. All right. Because I think a lot of people, we walk around and we expect other people to act like us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know how we would treat the people that we love, the people that we appreciate. We know how we would show up for them. We know the things that we would do for them, right? But at the same time, that other person, that's not necessarily what they believe. And, when we go around expecting other people to treat us in the way that we would treat ourselves, it's kind of, it's going to just put you in a position to be disappointed. So if you want to be, if you are a woman, you know what I'm saying, that wants to support certain content creators, and just do it because you really want to. You know what I'm saying? Not because you're expecting something back. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But at the same time, I'm just telling you, 9 times out of 10, you're going to end up disappointed because ain't nobody going to do you like you can do you. You understand me? Ain't nobody going to treat you or love you the way that you would do yourself. Okay? So we just got to know that. Got to keep that in mind. So if you really want to be there, if you say you like somebody, you like a content creator, you like that, have your reasons, but make it make sense to you. Yeah, and just be able to just do it freely. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like it costs you nothing. You know what I'm saying? It don't cost you nothing. Just like right now, it don't cost you nothing to hit the like button. It don't cost you nothing to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all for the free 99. So if it doesn't take away from you personally, then there's no problem with supporting. But expecting a certain type of treatment or a certain type of response or a certain type of reaction, I'm sorry, love, it's just going to leave you disappointed in the end. And what I suggest is, if you are a woman, content creator, excuse me, y'all, that feels that way, what I suggest is that you start putting more energy into your own channels. You know what I'm saying? Putting more energy into your own projects. Find out where you need to tighten up at. Find out what works for you or what works in general when it comes to other successful channels. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with a little comparison, a little bit of self-critique. There's nothing wrong with that. And yeah, I mean, like, that's just basically that's a easy solution. You know what I'm saying? Focus on you. Focus on building your own network, your own supporters, your own followers. Like, sometimes we gotta find them ourselves. Sometimes the supporters, they don't find us. Sometimes we gotta find them by pumping out that consistent good content that aligns with our message, that aligns with our with ourselves. Give me 1 second, y'all. I thought it's the wrong cord. Give me 1 second. Let me plug in my computer, and then we'll start the review. But I hope y'all know what y'all feel what I'm saying, though, because of course things don't always go as we planned it to, or like as we would like it to. You know what I'm saying? But we got to be prepared. We got to be able to keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? We got to be able to keep it moving. So that was just my quick little spiel about some things that I've noticed in the space since I've kind of been quiet and gone. Okay, let me catch up with y'all in the chat. Let me see what y'all saying. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so let me see here. All right, well, that's your opinion. That is your opinion. I definitely like what I like. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, you. Disagreement and disrespect are different terms but can relate. That's true. Just depends on the circumstances, or I guess what triggers the disrespect. Right, he always arguing, but that's because he got his woman drip, so he that's why he can stay arguing with folks. Oh, y'all just going back. Damn. What's going on, Terry Dow? Shouts out to you. You've heard of Nature Boy through commentary from Sweet Ma on YouTube. Again, like I said, I got some actual footage of some of his work. So we gonna get into that. What's going on, Uda? What's going on, Uda? All right. Are you back in the States? By the way, I'm not trying to get all up in your business, but I was just wondering, are you still in Japan, or are you back home? The footage has been dope. Thanks for sharing with the space, man, because everybody can't afford to take that vacation. So it's like you put us in a suitcase and took us with you, man. Appreciate that. Okay. Oh, okay. You come back soon? Okay, cool. Well, just enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself and stay safe. Oh yeah, Barb. I know you're in America too right now. That's what's up. Hope you're enjoying yourself. It's America. It's America. It depends on what part that you're in, I guess. I hope that you're around family though. That always makes it better. Okay, so we're gonna get into the documentary. Who is Nature Boy? Okay. Now, while everybody else was fight clubbing and doing all this, this other stuff, on YouTube, there was other sectors that was, that was putting out content and things like that. Me personally, I was more on the Black consciousness tip. You know what I'm saying? I like history. I like to, like I said, get to the bottom of things. I like to ask why. So even I was listening and stumbled upon, I think he's an African shaman. His name was Krato Mutwa. This nigga was talking about extraterrestrials and everything. I was just intrigued, after a long day at work, watching the replay, smoking a blunt, like shit, I was in there. You know what I'm saying? I was tuned in. So young Pharaoh, of course, we all know about him, right? And yeah, found out about Nature Boy. Now, from what I've seen, in my opinion, when I first kind of like observed Nature Boy, he was a bit too performative for me. I get it. You know what I'm saying? You can see the background. He's literally living in places like Costa Rica and streaming from these places. They're at waterfalls and these beautiful surroundings, right? And these black, these young black men and women with smiles on their faces and their natural hair and everything. Everybody just seems so happy, right? And then time started going on, and the image of Nature Boy changed. The message of Nature Boy changed. The crew of Nature Boy, how they were acting, changed. Like, it just became to a point where it was like, this is low-key disturbing. What's going on, Tiff? Good morning, lady. It was low-key disturbing. So let me just break it down and I guess try to explain this as much as possible, because of course we'll never understand the reason why people do what they do. But what I've noticed with people who gravitate to cults and things like that, they have a sense of wanting to belong to something bigger than themselves. For one reason or another, they don't feel important. In whatever position that they're in with life, they might be kind of misguided, not knowing what they want to do, might have that pressure of just, okay, well, you gotta get serious about life. You got to pick a career. You got to figure out what you want to do. And some people they want something to believe in. That's just really what I think about at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he did talk a good game. I think honestly though, all you needed to hear really was one of his streams, and then after that it was just on repeat. You know what I'm saying? So you can get the gist of what he's saying, but his game wasn't really good because it was just it was repeated so much. And that was another thing that Aaron, aka True, and that's the light-skinned dude with the hazel eyes, if y'all remember, he was one of the people who actually testified against him after leaving the cult in court. All right, that's one thing that he was saying. He was just when you're forced to listen to hours of repeated information, it makes your mind and leaves your mind susceptible. It's kind of similar, and I don't want to be insulting or anything but like that, but it's similar. Aaron was also in the army, you know what I'm saying? So from his personal perspective, he felt a void after leaving the service. He was, when he was in the service, he had a job. He knew what his mission was, but when he left, it was like he didn't know what to do with himself. You know what I mean? He felt like he had no purpose. And after watching, Nature Boy for a while, he felt really connected. And it's something else that was really, really interesting is that people would sit there and watch, similar to how we're doing right now, right? and you're admiring this person who seems to have so much knowledge about life, the universe, how things work, healing themselves, all this, all this other stuff, right? And then eventually this same person with all this knowledge is actually responding back to you in the chat. Now they're talking to you directly through the live stream. They're gradually making small gestures in their situation that mean a big deal to just a person who's looking on, a person who wants to be down. You feel what I'm saying? Because they're sitting there and admiring these people and this lifestyle and stuff, and now, oh shit, he just spoke to me. You know what I'm saying? Nature Boy just spoke to me. And every time that I come into the chat, they always, he's always shouting me out and doing this, that, and the third. I did find something because in general, like I said, if you don't know who he is and how he got started, I did find something that can give it kind of break it down and put it into like more of a, gives you visuals so y'all can see what he looks like. Y'all can see what I'm talking about when in terms of his tribe members and all that stuff. So give me 1 second, y'all. Let me pull this up. Yeah, I mean, especially because hindsight is 2020, Tiff, man. Like homie's eyebrows remind me of devil horns. Like I don't care. Which is this one? Okay, it's this one. Doctor. Give me a second, y'all. All right, so this is just an introduction, and like I said, of who he is as a person, and then we'll get a little bit more into the documentary itself, some of the things that happened to the members that were there. Then again, I encourage everybody, if you have a subscription to Hulu, go ahead and take a look at it, because it's definitely interesting. We think that these things can't happen, you know what I'm saying? But as the years go on, we learn about certain atrocities like sex trafficking and organ harvesting and all this other stuff. It's like, bruh, like if you don't want to be aware of it, then fine, you can call it strange, you know what I'm saying? Just because it's something that a situation that I'm aware of, and I just wanted to know. But also because the whole shit, they got busted. Like, when they get busted? They got busted in DeKalb County. I live in Georgia. Like, I know where that's at. That's not too far from where I live. I used to live in DeKalb. So it's like we think that everything is just like, oh, it's just so far away that it can't touch us. It can't touch one of our loved ones. Like, we don't know who is feeling, like I said, that void of not knowing what they want to do with their lives and want to be part of something bigger or better than themselves, like some type of gang or cult. We don't know. But again, I guess, the rest of us strange people, we will be like, okay, yeah, we know what to look for. While the rest of everybody else is still like surprised and shocked and in denial, like this shit don't happen. So let's go ahead and pull up this video so y'all can see for yourselves. A little introduction of Nature Boy. Let me see.
On the 13th of April 2022, a cult leader was arrested for false imprisonment and revenge porn in DeKalb County, Georgia. To his followers, he was the reincarnation of God, but as former members came forward, another story emerged. A story about a narcissist with a desire for power, whose teachings led his followers only to suffering and abuse. This case follows a group of people who believed in someone so entirely that they followed him even as he descended further and further into the dark. This is the story of the rise and fall of Carbon Nation. Welcome to The Worst of Us.
And you can find interviews on like what is that, the Street Stars, whatever the the podcast with the blue couch, y'all know what I'm talking about. But let me see here, that was Janae has done an interview. Velvet, who was technically Nature Boy's quote unquote wife, has done an interview separately. Aaron and Solar as well. There's some of the people who have came out and spoke about their personal experience of being in the cult. So it's just like, we can we can definitely celebrate the fact that there's certain people who got out. Even though he's still currently locked up, there are probably, I say, about 2 or 3 of his quote unquote wives who are still on the outside advocating for his release. So everybody didn't break the mental chains of the cult, but there are some who did.
The story of Carbon Nation is long and intertwines many lives. When researching the group, it is tempting to jump into the story at the foundation of the cult and outlandish criminal behavior of its leader. However, to properly understand how things would eventually get so extreme, disturbing, and bizarre.
So if you lack melanin, you are genetically retarded.
I breastfeed. That's how I heal myself. Breast milk, nigga. I'm naked.
Bruh, hold on, because this actually... When you see, hold on, where? Give me a second, y'all. Damn. Because he said something about breastfeeding, and I was like, nigga. But I actually do have that live stream. And he actually did, basically suck a titty live on Sonetter's TV, on his stream. It was crazy. He was interviewing him about his following and everything like that. And this nigga went on some type of tangent talking about how breast milk is beneficial to adults and how it heals him. And yeah, he did that live. So we'll take a little peek at that as well. But no, I'm not a peek at him actually doing that, but a peek at the actual live stream that was featured on this documentary.
The story of Carbon Nation is long and intertwines many lives. When researching the group, it is tempting to jump into the story at the foundation of the cult and outlandish criminal behavior of its leader. However, to properly understand how things would eventually get so extreme, disturbing, and bizarre.
So if you lack melanin, you are genetically retarded.
I breastfeed. That's how I heal myself. Breast milk, nigga. I'm naked with my kids. I have sex in front of my kids. Don't you ever?
Yeah, see, this is when it started to get a little bit like I said, extreme in terms of his beliefs and his presence online. When he first started, it was more, he was more pulling on the heartstrings and coming from the perspective of the new Trump administration. There was a lot of, unfortunately, a lot of Black deaths at the hands of police officers that were televised. Sandra Bland's, the Philando Castiles, and a lot of people, similar to even like how I hear people talking right now, a lot of people were they didn't want to be in America anymore. You know what I mean? They wanted to get out, and so he used that angle at first, and it just, the more that he went live, the more that he advertised and sold this lifestyle and this dream, he did end up getting a lot of people to fall for it. I mean, turn over all their earthly possessions, debit cards, money, putting it in the pot, for the betterment of the group, taking away the passports and things like that as soon as they got there, like being denied health care. I believe there was at least two births that happened while this group was, living in the middle of Costa Rica. And I believe they ended up in Belize as well at one point in time. Now they kept getting kicked out of these other countries because this nigga Nature Boy just really did not want to adhere at all when it came to stamping passports and just being documented. It's just a part of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to be living in a different country, it's like, or you want to live off the grid. Yeah, it makes it. It sounds nice, but I mean, there's still procedures that you have to go through. You know what I mean? So they kept getting kicked out. Yeah, he he believed in a lot of crazy stuff, Keon. The bathing stuff, the using the bathroom outside because the trees, they come from the soil, and when we don't give back to them, it's like we're abusing them. It was just craziness. But there's a lot of different characteristics of a cult leader that plays a part into that. Usually cult leaders have a lot of charisma. And even I'm starting to hear this dumbass argument now of how, oh, well, Jeffrey Dahmer, actually, they said he was actually a very charismatic person and this, that, and the third. I mean, yeah, it probably so was, what's his name? Charles Manson. And you know what I'm saying? Like it's something that's telling a charismatic, you can be charismatic and of course not be a cult leader, but there is a limit to it. You know what I mean? And that's usually if they only have like when they only have a trusted inner circle. There's only a couple people that really are close to them, if at all, you know what I mean? But members are discouraged from questioning anything. And as soon as you do question something that is kind of seen or interpreted as not being loyal or not having faith in whatever system that the group is believing in at the time. It's a shaming tactic, basically, right? So charisma, right? They got a us versus them worldview, and Carbonation definitely did. They originated, like I said, just talking about living more of a simpler life, a violent-free life. They promoted healthy living, simple living, being sustainable, basically leaving the hustle and bustle of city life, because it's another another popular argument that a lot of people who are part of the 9-to-5 system, we just working to pay bills type shit, right? So he would use things like that to appeal to the especially younger crowd, because there wasn't too many like mid-age or older people that were a part of this cult. And solving issues non-violently. Those were some of the early the early ideologies, when it came to Carbonation. But of course, as time went on, the heat changed. The heat got turned up, the message got perverted. He's changed his name quite a few times. I believe some of them being Eligio the Christ and Three God. He started to refer to him as basically Jesus Christ reincarnated towards the end of his reign, right? But of course, to get people, you can't just you can't just come off rip with with the title on your chest, or on your forehead, because you're not gonna get the people to sign up for that. You gotta be a little deceptive, you gotta be a chameleon type shit. So he started off with this healthy living, and he's just looking so fit, and melanin, and yay, we're gonna just we're gonna live off the grid, and we gonna get away from the hustle and bustle and this, that, and the third. But eventually, like I said, when you gotta go somewhere, and as soon as you get there, you can't keep your passport, they asking for all your bread. Like, you got to pay to be in an organization. Like, that's like saying, like, if you got a job offer, but they just like, oh, okay, well, we can get you started, this, that, and the third, but we're going to need a small fee. Like, if you ever have to pay to, to do something that's supposedly beneficial or something like that, like a job or like an organization, is 9 times out of 10 is a scam, right? Well, we know that now for sure. But yeah, these people would have to basically give up everything that they had, just pretty much like off rip. And once that happens, you're stuck. You know what I mean? Because you done caught probably a one-way flight, like I said, to Costa Rica. You know, everything was super impulsive. You know, if you were one of these people who ended up being recruited by either one of the members who would have their own live streams going on, talking to people, recruiting, oh yeah, reflection, you should, you know, come on here and come on, you know, join, what they would say, come to the sun. Real impulsive, what do you have to lose type shit, you know? And these people would, like I said, they would be young and they would have these voids going on where they don't, you know, they wanted to belong to something and they would end up going out there. But eventually, like I said, the ego got out of hand, you know, where he was running the men and the women, telling them what they could and could not eat, who they could and could not date, forcing relationships, you know, or partnering relationships with people who didn't know each other or didn't desire to be together. There was a lot of things that he was doing. It was just mental abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, all the abuses. And we gonna, like I said, take a look a little bit further because these people did a great job with compiling some of his previous streams, and he would film all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time it would be, well, and eventually he moved to Bigo. And if you guys know about anything about Bigo, you know, it's like the wild, wild west. Anything goes over there. People just do nothing but watch bullshit. It's like the Zeus of social media, right? So I can just imagine the amount of reinforcement, affirmations that he would get probably from these people sending jewels and gifts and leaving comments while people are literally being abused live on camera. All right, so let's take a look real quick. Let me just run this. All right.
Your motherfucker like to be the motherfucker strawberry unless I actually want motherfucker. Could you find some idiots online to pay you to do this to them?
All you just belong to the three, and I will have my way with you as I see fit.
Why don't you just let me go? Why don't you just kill me already?
Oh, baby. Oh. What? Come on, son. The fuck wrong with these things, man? Huh? What? You get your like, hey, man. You get yourself the best.
Now this is literally towards the end. This isn't the house in the cab, the Airbnb that they were renting before they got busted. All right, because in between, people from like the viewers who are watching and the neighbors, because they was doing all this shit in a house in a cul-de-sac in a suburban neighborhood, bruh. You got to be crazy as batshit to be thinking that, you know, you can do some cult type stuff, making all this type of noise, got people walking around with no shirts on in the backyard, and ain't no white folks finna say nothing. All right. There was plenty of welfare checks that were made by the cab police officers. But of course, like I said, they filmed everything. They were tipped off. They, you know, denied access, made sure everybody was, you know, straightened up and all this other stuff before, you know, when the cops came to check on them. So it took them a minute, you know, but they were definitely on the radar. This nigga is clearly crazy. It looks like it's about 3 or 4 different personalities that popped out of this dude in the past like 15 seconds, man. But this is, like I said, this is towards the end. This is not how he was acting in order to get the followers that he got. But once he got them, he was like, it's on like Donkey Kong. What's going on, L Boogie? Happy Sunday to you. Yes, support the LA Project. Okay, we have some goals today. Definitely want to make sure that you guys are hitting the like button. Go ahead and share the video out if you can, because sharing is caring. And we have a show goal today, a crowd fund of $50. Just give me $50. It's summertime is coming up. These kids want ice cream and all kinds of stuff. They about to be just in the house asking for stuff nonstop. So anything will definitely help. All right. And if you would like to know how you can contribute to the show, this is how you can do it.
With $10,000, we'd be millionaires. We could buy all kinds of useful things like love.
Like what you're hearing, let me know. Support the show. Hey, bro, Venmo, Cash App, baby. Support the show. Let's keep it going on.
Damn, I was on mute. No, I totally agree, Elbert. I would have bust out laughing too. But these people who are in the background right now, I believe, have been a part of the whole cult for at least 4 years. This nigga would deprive them of sleep. Their diets were horrible. Like I said, I'm not sure why, you know what I mean, but they would just be subjected to physical abuse. I've even got a clip of the two of the ladies being forced to fight because basically he ordered them to. They was on the beach right by the shore. I'm talking about scrapping. They ended up with scratches and all and swollen faces and all kinds of shit just because he told them to prove something. Because again, these are characteristics of the cult, you know what I'm saying? They have to start. And yes, Smitty, that's why I made sure to say that there's a lot of okay, I was muted again. But no, that's definitely why I said that in the Smitty as well. I agree. You know, they don't the question usually is how do people end up so deep into it? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do they not bust out laughing hearing some crazy shit like this? And it's because, you know, in the beginning, they bond with you in a different way. They do come off chill, very complimentary, you know, welcoming, all that good stuff. Yeah, they never let you know that they're just nuts off top because nobody would sign up for that. Can y'all hear me now? Yeah, I noticed that I went out. I'm just like, the fuck wrong with StreamYard? Put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me, please. I appreciate it. What's up, Bill in the Wind? Yes, it's still the morning. Okay. Good morning to you. Okay. Thanks, Smitty. Yeah, but these folks, okay, thanks, Barb. But yeah, these folks don't just outright just tell you that they're crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got to bring you in, and that's where the charisma and all that type of stuff comes in and make it, you know, you guys come in with some type of common goal. You know what I mean? For, like I said, for a lot of these people, it was to live healthier lifestyle, to live off the grid, you know, to not have, you know, to resolve things with not violence, to live naturally and, you know, change the diet, blah, 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 all these things. That's all that they were agreeing to. But at the same thing, hold on. Gas Mask, are you behind in the stream? Can y'all hear me? Leave me alone. Oh my goodness. Where are my damn headphones? Y'all, I swear. I swear. Okay. But yeah, the message changed. You know what I'm saying? They had a common goal. They had a common, you know, ideology and things like that. That was used against them too. And it made him seem, he made it seem like the rest of the world, you know what I'm saying, was just so, you know, we wouldn't understand. He called the rest of the world Babylon, you know, so that's where, got a sprinkle of religion. You know, you got to get a little dab of religion. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not no it's not a real cult if you don't have some type of, you know what I'm saying, that type of shit going on. So we got perversion of religion. We got perversion, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, of basically of just the outside world, you know, and what everybody else's intent is towards the group. It's us versus them. You know what I mean? You're doing this for years. You're sleep deprived. And then the person that you have put so much faith into, you giving your passport to, all your bread to, is flipping the script on you. It's a tricky, that would be a very dangerous, you know what I'm saying, and crazy situation to be in. What's going on, Genesis? I know this nigga's playing with me. Yeah, did you watch this? I know you knew about it, but I'm not sure if you actually was like following like what happened in the end. But let's keep going with just like I said, just giving some people who don't know who Nature Boy is just an idea of who we talking about. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and participate in the poll. Go ahead, put your votes in, and let's get back to it.
We have to begin with the story of one man. Eligio Bishop was born on the 29th of April 1982 in Harlem. His parents would unfortunately die when he was only young, his mother from an overdose and his father from a heart condition, which led to him and his brother being put into the foster care system as children. Eligio would later detail being abused by a man called Mr. Pope around this time, when he was only 6 or 7 years old.
I pretty much, was humping on the other kids in the foster home, just to get my rocks off or just to feel something, you know what I'm saying? And he caught me one day, Mr. Pope, the dude I got separated from my foster father. He caught me, and basically the dude just made me do acts with another boy that I was already humping on anyway.
Around age...
Child. All right, so he already had a troubled past, you know what I'm saying? Very troubled early childhood, okay? I did kind of, like I said, I'm aware who this person is, you know what I'm saying? So bro, basically, like he come from like one of those dynamics where his pops was like in his 70s, and his mama was like, I don't know, she looked like late 20s, maybe early 30s. So it already was a crazy little situation. He allegedly, and this is from his mouth, he was a crack baby. And yes, his mom ended up passing away from an overdose, and his father passed away in his sleep, leaving him to be raised in the foster care system. Now, like I said, I'm glad that he's saying all this stuff from his own mouth, so I don't have to keep saying allegedly. But according to his followers, he would, like I said, sit them down and talk for hours at end about his past, his childhood, and all the things that he's been through. So the repetition of all this information, being in isolation, you in the middle of nowhere, you know what I'm saying? And like, this is what you signed up for. You believe in this shit, you know what I'm saying? You believe in these people, you believe in the message and whatever that you guys are pushing forward to the masses. So I'm like I said, I'm just glad that he's saying all this shit, because yeah, I would hate to mischaracterize anybody, but the past, like I said, it all starts to make sense, man. Y'all check out the last stream I did. You'll see what I mean.
11 or 12, Eligio and his brother were adopted in New Jersey by the Bishop family. Eligio would later claim that this was for financial reasons and described consistent abuse at the hands of Miss Bishop.
She said we was emotionally disturbed. She put us on Ritalin so that she can get paid for us too. So it was a hustle for her. Getting kids was a hustle for her. You feel me? She didn't adopt us for any good reasons.
This lady got an extension cord and wrapped it around her hand. Yeah. And she said, hold out your hands. And I was like, so she started with me. I was like, my whole hand went numb. It was crazy. And she started telling me about, and she like put them out again, and she just kept.
Yeah, and this is just a side note, but unfortunately, I had to, I woke up and had to, well, overheard a conversation about once again beating children. This is the reason why it doesn't make sense to resort to physical violence on your kids, because you see the type of damage that it does to these individuals. It doesn't teach anything. Okay, if anything, it forces people to almost fragment themselves. You know what I'm saying? As young people, because they don't even understand what the hell is going on. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand what's happening to them in order to survive. That's usually when the mental issues and things like that start coming into play, especially if it's severe like this, getting whooped with an extension cord across your hands. When you got to use your hands for everything, like, man, I don't know. To me, that's just cruel. I don't believe in corporal punishment with children. You know what I'm saying? They got privileges that can be taken away. They got 2 ears and a brain in the middle. I think that if you talk to them, you explain shit to them, and you make things inconvenient for them, they'll understand. You ain't got to beat them. That's for sure.
Hit me.
In his teenage years, Eligio described how he began to stand up to Miss Bishop, and that once he had stood up to her, he became resistant to any authority.
You know what I'm saying? This gave me a temper. Once I stuck up to her, nobody could tell me nothing. Like, once I stuck up to this lady, no one can tell me at all. Like, nothing at all. No one could tell me anything at all. So, fuck it, I'm wilding now. Like, the police can't tell me nothing. We was wilding on the police. I was like fighting police. I was wild. Like, I was, at this point, she broke something in me, and it just like, I was rebellious to any kind of authority. I was like, fuck that.
It is worth noting here that abuse is the defining feature of Eligio Bishop's early life, and this was potentially instructive for his later behavior. The intergenerational cycle of abuse is a pattern whereby victimized people can become abusive themselves in later life, linking abusive behavior to feelings of power, inadequacy, insecurity, or grandiosity. Although it is certainly not always the case, and many people are able to break this cycle, it seems entirely plausible that Eligio's early victimization could have led to the abuse he would go on to perpetrate later in life. Around age 13, Eligio had fallen in with a bad crowd and ended up in Jamesburg Juvenile Jail.
And from there, I went to Jamesburg. Jamesburg was a prison for boys. And in Jamesburg, it was a lot of fighting. You feel me what I'm saying? Like, I think I died one time in there. I got jumped by 20 Latin Kings.
Now known as New Jersey Training School, Jamesburg is an infamous juvenile detention center for boys described as a house of horrors and hell on earth, which has faced calls for its closure due to its appalling conditions and stigmatization of underage people as criminals. Eligio would spend the next 3 years of his life in Jamesburg, being transferred to maximum security prison when he was 16 years old and only re-entering the population aged 19, having been incarcerated since 13. He claims that he trained with the Marines following his release.
I went to the Army. I went to boot camp in Fort Knox, Kentucky, in the middle of winter, training with the Marines. I was training with the Marines. It was crazy. Basic training with the Marines.
The next phase of Eligio Bishop's life involved living off women he was dating, as he described how he was homeless but would use his relationships to help him get back on his feet.
After that, my sister kicked me out. I started getting into arguments with my sister, so I was sleeping in the bush. I was sleeping outside in the woods. But I always had women. Like, even when I was broke, I always had a whole bunch of women. Like, I was the dude that was like, yo, Lee, where the bitches at? He's always coming like, yo, Lee, where the bitches at?
He moved to Atlanta, where he would eventually be introduced to erotic dancing and ultimately male escorting and pornography.
Yeah, this was the craziest. This is the craziest part.
Hold on. But then I started dancing.
Hold on. Okay, so let me just pause really quick because this can get a little interesting real quick. Okay, so yeah, this was one of the things that when it came out, about him being, I don't know, I'm not trying to judge folks, you know what I'm saying? Me personally, I don't care for male dancers at all. Like, you can keep that on over there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he was a male dancer, and there were some questionable videos and things, I guess, when he did when he was in his younger years, out of the need to survive. So you will be seeing some still shots of the videos that he's done. Don't be surprised, okay? But I know the guys, y'all a little squeamish out there. So I had to give the disclaimer. Okay, let's go.
A woman, And the women would pay you, but they didn't pay you like the guys did. So I like dancing for women because it got me a lot of attention from women. And women was like paying me to have sex with them. And I was a gigolo. And I was like, I would do massages and whatever. I became a male escort. I was a male escort for guys and women. Like I would do the massage. I would jack off for dudes. I did all that stuff. Like, you feel me? Like,
oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about this part.
I was gay for pay. You know what I'm saying?
His nigga said he was gay for pay. So I guess, like I said, when people got to survive, a little something strange for some change, that can apply to anybody.
Like I was that world. I made a lot of money. So when you see me on that, they show you like a doctor video and shit. I was young. I didn't know about the internet, and he didn't pay me no fucking $50. He paid me $2,000 to do that scene. And it's a gay scene that's going around with me. I'm doing an exam with a doctor. You feel me? And at the time, like, it was a hustle for me, so I didn't really care. You know what I'm saying? So he wanted to jerk me off. You know what I'm saying? And do a record exam and all that. So I didn't know that the internet was going to be this big now. Like, I didn't know that they was going to catch that and be like, oh yeah, remember this shit?
There are also records of Bishop being arrested for forcible entry, aggravated battery, and driving.
Yeah, gay for pay is nuts, man. Especially when this is supposed to be your God. Like, how could you even say that with confidence? Like, yes, I believe in this man and he is my God. I will follow him to the ends of the earth. And he was like, for real, like doing all kinds of stuff, would do anything to survive. So obviously it's like, where was his faith? You know what I'm saying? He didn't have no faith that he was going to eat that night. He was just like, man, well, all right, man, let me see. I guess I got to do what I got to do type shit. Like, come on.
Without a license between 2009 and 2012, and even being divorced in 2013. It is significant that Bishop's life as a young man was completely defined by transactional sexual relationships, where he benefited financially from his romantic partners and his clients as a dancer and escort. It seems plausible that years of these types of relationships could have influenced his later behaviors of sexualizing and financially exploiting the members of his cult. After 10 years in the sex industry, Bishop became a barber, claiming to be so successful that he ended up cutting hair for celebrities on The Monique Show and opening his own salon in 2014.
I wound up being very successful as a mobile barber, meeting all kind of people. I actually went on a Monique Show, cut hair for her, and I started cutting hair for celebrities.
As a side note, it is worth disclosing that this first chapter is built almost entirely from Eligio Bishop's own words, and there is very little public evidence to substantiate his claims. This is not to say that everything Bishop said here is inaccurate or exaggerated, but just stating it as outrightly factual without mentioning the implicit bias of the source would be irresponsible. Links to the full compilations of Bishop discussing his early life are provided in the description. Over the next 2 years, Eligio would experience a spiritual transition, describing how he gave away all his material things and began to form the beliefs he would eventually preach to his following.
I was falling asleep and another set of eyes opened. It's the only thing I could say. I know I was laying in the bed, but another set of eyes opened. And basically I was standing up in another realm. It was like more real than this realm. And I was slipping into different realities. I was in a hospital bed. Then I was in another realm where I was balled up into a ball and everything was upside down. This is when everything started because I just knew, stop taking showers. I gave the barbershop away. I gave cars away. I gave all that I owned away. I'm a philosopher. I am a spiritual leader. I'm a spiritual being. I'm a spiritual.
Hey, Keon knew about the not taking showers part.
Spiritual teacher. That's what I am. And I knew I was because it's the only thing that made me happy.
Following the launch of Facebook Live in 2016, a fledgling nature boy would begin to preach his.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna call it cap. Cap. If you have a successful barbershop that you own, you cutting celebrities' hair, including on the Monique Show. I remember when I know I had some friends that was on the behind the scenes in the filming crew for the Monique Show. You know what I'm saying? A lot of black people got paid. Monique helped pay a lot of black people in the city, right? But if you got all that going on and you just woke up one day and was like, oh, let me give away all my earth, I call cap, man. I don't give a damn. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like usually people who are already kind of like, if they got everything going on and everything is comfortable, they normally just don't wake up one day and just be like, start giving everything away just to recruit people to ask them for money to sustain your lifestyle. Like it's too much cap in here. And I'm just going to call it out, man.
Views to the internet for the very first time. This would be the foundation of the group that would eventually become Carbon Nation, as Bishop attracted lost souls into his following with the promise of enlightenment, and they ran away to live by his beliefs as Melanation.
Right, where did the whole like stop taking shower shit come from? Like I said, that's cap, man. That's cap. He just wanted a reason to be trifling and to live life the way that he wanted to. You know what I'm saying? He already got all these other little kinks and situations that have happened in his past, child. So yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It has to be a lie. It's like, I don't believe that. God didn't. Yes, you need to stop taking showers and you need to give up everything. Usually when people get into the situation where he was gay for how you gonna be gay for pay, right? In order to have places to live and all this stuff once upon a time, especially after you got out the foster care system and all this stuff, right? Usually when you get into a situation where you own your own business, oh my God, that's usually when people be like, God done blessed me. Okay. The notion normally don't come in the opposite. It'd be like, you know what, I know that God blessed me with all these things. I had nothing, now I have something, and he's telling me to give it all up again. Nigga, cap. Big cap. That's right. Okay, that thing going okay.
In June of 2016, Bishop left the USA for Honduras, urging people on Facebook to let him be their guide out of the hell realm. This would be the establishment of Melanation, the first iteration of Bishop's cult. Melanation got their name from melanin and held beliefs that people with more melanin and darker skin were superior to those with less. They believed that modern society, which they referred to as Babylon, was damaging, and that people should break away and live in nature to become spiritually elevated. They practiced veganism, nudity.
Yeah, and again, like I said, the people in Babylon, who just have all these material things, man. But you're going on live streaming, you're asking for donations. You know what I'm saying? You ask your followers to basically hand over all their possessions, especially the monetary ones. Like, it's just so much cap in this shit. Like, and yeah, he definitely looks like he don't wash his ass. And it's like, isn't there like, I could have swore there was a balance between like having simple living and being holistic and stuff and still being clean. But what do I know?
Polygamy, refraining from bathing, and defecating on trees.
I really don't like using toilets. Like,
What is the thing you hate so much about the toilet?
the soil belongs to the trees, and I'm in an abusive relationship.
Oh, sorry, real quick. Okay. See, okay, and this is another thing. Because word didn't really catch on and people really didn't start taking this shit seriously in terms of what he was doing until the white woman joined. When the white woman joined the cult, oh man, her parents and everybody from Canada was like, nah, you got to get Becky up out of there. You know what I'm saying? She don't belong. She's in danger. She don't have no business being around all these Negroes. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's when he really, when the spotlight got put on him, because he wasn't really, I mean, he was an influencer and he had a nice crowd of people that was aware of him, but he wasn't getting in trouble with the law and all that stuff until she joined. You know what I'm saying? That's what y'all have to understand. It's like that representation. It's like, okay, black man, you better be careful messing with Becky, because you already know the overall tone, you know what I'm saying, and how they feel about white women. So it's like, yeah, like they can do whatever, you know what I'm saying, but you on the other hand, you better watch it, you know what I'm saying, and you should know that by now, by history and all of that. But yeah, when she joined the cult, she was from Canada, and her parents and some other people that she knew saw her in the background, and they was trying to use her, like, you know what I'm saying, it's like a little token spokesperson, and giving her little answers about how it is to be out there and stuff like that. Man, her parents, like I said, they sent them people out there to come and get their child. She was out of there in no time.
With the tree, if I'm not giving it back.
Erica Carroll, known as Blueprint, was an early follower of melanation and would later describe the verbal and mental abuse during this period, ultimately leaving the group after witnessing Bishop physically assault his then girlfriend.
The group back then was known as Melanation. Carol says it was led by Eligio Bishop, who went by Nature Boy. She says all 9 of them were forced to sleep in tents, use restrooms outside, and attend long meetings to, quote, face your demons.
It was a lot of verbal and mental abuse.
But after 1 year, what got her to leave was when she says she witnessed Bishop hit his girlfriend at the time.
He slapped her up and punched her a couple of times, and then he told her to go in the tent and give him oral sex. So that was the breaking point for me.
Erica's account shows us that as early as 2016, abuse was baked into the foundation of Eligio Bishop's cult. It is also worth noting at this point that every former member of the group, including Erica, would later describe in interviews that they were searching for meaning or guidance in life at the point they fell in with melanation.
And it was just in a place in my life where I was just searching for some spiritual truth.
Not really having a parental figure as a father guiding me in the right direction made me go towards men to get guidance from them.
I ran.
Okay, now these are some of the people who I mentioned earlier that were part of his cult that actually left and testified against him. All right, so give me 1 second. This is Aaron, aka True. He was, technically he was like first in command while he was in the cult. I believe he was in there for 4 years. And he was also the one who was explaining that after being in armed forces and being released from them, he needed something. You know what I mean? He felt like he didn't have a mission anymore. So this is Aaron. Janae. Hold on just a second. And I mean, these are not, you know what I'm saying? These are regular looking people. This woman is gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? This is Janae. She was out there probably for a few years before she left. And she was the one that actually initiated the whole investigation against him because she tried to leave. He wouldn't let her leave. So that was part of the kidnapping part. And then also he essayed her, videotaped it, and shared it on Twitter. So that was a part of the revenge porn. So she got everything kicked off in terms of the investigation for the group.
Guiding me in the right direction made me go towards men to get guidance from them.
I ran from myself. I let the fear of not knowing what I was going to do with my life cause me to make an impulsive decision.
I had an identity problem at that time and I needed.
All right. And the T247 shouts out to her. This is one of the main content creators who is not only a part of the Hulu documentary itself, but a lot of her footage was used in the actual trial. So shouts out to her. Give me 1 second because I do have give me a second, y'all. Let me put her channel in the chat. She doesn't go, live and stuff like that. She's not that type of content creator. According to her, in the documentary, she actually started she even started her channel based off of the disturbing things that she was seeing, you know what I'm saying? Like from Nature Boy specifically. So I guess he was kind of the person that got everything started for her in terms of her career. Let me, where do I do it? Oh, here it is. I just wanted to show her some love. Because like I said, you just never know, you know what I'm saying, what your content, how it can be used, you know what I'm saying? Um, so she helped the trial out a lot. She helped it a lot. Okay, let me get this started.
It's something to attach to.
This shows us how a false prophet can thrive by claiming to have all the answers when people have uncertainties or insecurities about their own lives. It is also a potential reason Bishop would be so effective in attracting people who would put up with his abuse. Someone who is viewed as being in a position of authority is less likely to be called out for bad behavior, and every person who joined the cult would be convinced that Bishop was a leader who had the answers to their problems. Over the next few years, the group were traveling throughout Central America, Mexico, and the Caribbean, visiting Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Belize, and Panama, as well as Puerto Rico and Mexico. Reporter Ben Zand would visit Costa Rica when they were settled there to search.
So y'all can see how he's marketing everything right now. Like I said, everybody looks all healthy and strong and shit. You know what I'm saying? Happy and smiling and, you know, just vibrant. And no, like that was just for, you know, for, like I said, for advertisement. The woman who was technically like, well, she ended up having his child and everything. That's Velvet Marquez. She was made the queen or whatever, and actually did have his child. She was saying on the documentary how, and there was, I mean, it looked beautiful. You know what I mean? They had this nice Airbnb with these wide cement steps, and the men were lined up on one side, the women were lined up on the other side. Everybody had on bright, beautiful colors, and they were moving like the military. And she was saying they did that scene over and over and over and over again because it was like a commercial. It was to market and advertise and recruit new people. But it was just but it took too long to get together. Like I said, they was out there for hours doing it. So if that's the case, you can already see that, yeah, people are out there and they're participating, but they didn't even really believe in what they were doing. You know what I mean? But everything was for show, you know, at a certain point in time. And you can see, like I said, how just with the last clip that was played, kind of how he was advertising the whole movement to the public.
For Nature Boy and Melanation. Even at this early stage, there were people speaking out about the dark side of Nature Boy, and Ben was able to speak to former members about their experiences with the cult leader.
Could you just tell me a bit about kind of what was it like?
Everyone goes to sleep at the same time. Like when I was there, we was all sleeping in one room, and you know, if Nature Boy is not done talking or done doing this, then we don't go to sleep. They see him as a father. You know, they see him as like their master teacher. You know, you don't disrespect the master teacher.
Is it a cult?
It is.
Ben was also able to speak with active Melanation members about their leader.
What's Nature Boy like? Because he's quite the character, isn't he?
Yeah, when I watched the video, I felt like I need to be with him. I messaged Nature Boy this exact same day. I was with Melanation within like 2 weeks.
Honestly, of watching the first video, wow. What were your family saying at this point?
I mean, I don't really consider them my family. I don't really talk to them much. The only one I really talk to sometimes is like Blood Mother, and she has never really been like supportive and like uplifting. Most of us have been through a lot of darkness.
Obviously with all the coverage that came from you, that's when the kind of idea of it being a cult came out. What do you think of that? People saying it's a cult.
I think that Canada is a cult.
All right, so I think that we got enough. We got the gist of this one. Y'all see kind of exactly like how he got his start, the basis of his teachings and things like that. Now let me actually pull up, and this is titled "The Interview That Got Nature Boy Doing Time in Prison for Life." Yes, he did get life in prison. He got life in prison for doing this. Okay, so if anybody was wondering about the outcome, yeah, he was he gone bye-bye. So let me pull this up really quick. First of all, and in this, and this is from House of Consciousness, Sonetter's Studio TV, his channel, because him and his wife Nepal actually did the interview with Nature Boy at this point in time when he was in Decatur. You know what I'm saying? In the Airbnb running a cult. So let me just show you a little bit of the fight really quick. And then I'll show you the actual interview. Give me 1 second, y'all. Hey, Hustler and Musler. He ran a cult. It was more of like a sex cult at the end of the day, by using social media and things like that. But like I said, they got kicked out of Costa Rica, they got kicked out of Belize. They ended up being arrested in DeKalb County, Georgia, for kidnapping, grape, and revenge porn. So that's what he was actually charged with. Y'all give me a second. And this is the type of stuff that he would, like I said, make them do to prove their loyalty, to prove themselves, especially with the women. The one that he, quote unquote, chose to be his queen, she didn't want that position, according to her. She was more of a girl's girl. You know, she got along with the other women. She didn't want to be mean to the other women. She didn't want to, she didn't want to act in a way like she was above other people. And because she would not separate herself, she would not, pull rank and use her position for things like that. He would put her in certain positions or certain situations where she would have to fight, or he would fight her, or just other things to basically make her act in the way that he wanted her to act. So this is from Sinetter's TV, his channel, House of Consciousness. That his beautiful wife Nepal underneath him, and Nature Boy is actually a part of this live stream. Okay, so this is one of the fights that he made his queen endure at the time to prove herself.
Malia, I said shut the fuck up. Nana, you ready? Control. All right, Malia, control yourself, or you get smacked, or you get rolled out. Don't fucking get rolled out. Hey yo, if you don't fucking act, you get rolled out. You gonna get rolled out. Hey yo, Afro, if the bitch don't break, roll that bitch out. Fool. Hey yo, no, when I say break, I mean break, but they gonna fuck you up. I'm not playing. Straight up. Hey yo. Don't let them hit no rocks. None. Y'all ready? Fight! Why did you surround me with this love? Do you care whether you live or you die?
Yeah, so that is his queen and one of the other followers that he had made fight. Okay, so he's live streaming this whole thing. He's not just videotaping it. He is live streaming this whole situation.
So
and this is the actual interview.
She's damn near orange. She's a golden lady. Get up close up and look at her soon, nigga. Look at her.
Are you going to answer these questions, man? Why are you making these women, these young, beautiful ladies, why are you making them like they dogs, like they animals, like they savages, brother? And you sitting up there, you don't even respect the power that's given to you right now. And you misusing the power that you have. And so you got these sisters out there acting like dogs and animals, brother.
He said it triggered other interviewers doing the interview. That's so I designed this thing. It's so cool.
Are you going to answer the question, my brother? You got the light, the shirt.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. I hear
Okay,
you.
I can hear. Okay, there you go. All right, give me a second here. What's up, H&M?
Salute, LA. How are you?
There we go. I'm good. How
Yo,
you
what up?
doing?
Your mute. What up, Riaz? Your music's kind of loud, but I can hear you.
I'm good, bruh.
All right, my
I'm
bad.
good, bruh.
All right, so
That's better. Shout out to you, LA Project. Never out of pocket, taking more shots than the Houston Rockets. Yeah.
You know it. You know it.
What?
So yeah, we're going over this this whole situation with you know, this character Nature Boy. Have you ever heard of him before?
I have.
Nope, no idea whatsoever.
I've heard about him, but not too much, though, to be honest. I heard about him.
Okay. Well, he's got
All I just know is he's this cult leader, and, you know, when he got caught, it was a massive thing. That's the only thing I know.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I was using, you know, social media 100% to recruit and do all these things.
Yeah.
But you know, of course, like since everything, you know, when it happens online, it's like, oh, it's just entertainment. But like, no, people was really getting hurt. There was even he
Yeah, I
had this
agree.
elder woman. He had this elder woman who was I guess she was suffering from diabetes. When he first kind of started off, he claimed himself to be some type of, you know, some type of healer, right? With
What?
diseases or whatever. He convinced her not to take her medication, and she died in Costa Rica.
Whoa, that's crazy.
So I mean, it was people who were really getting hurt, you know, folks who was leaving and stuff like that. He ended up getting life in prison. So I mean, it was bad enough, you know. But this is technically one of the last interviews
Yeah,
that
I
he did. I'm
guess
not
so.
sure if you saw the
Right.
fight that I just showed.
Yeah, I just saw it. You just showed, I guess. When it comes to this thing as well, though, is when you commit shirk or when you commit heresy, but basically, evil, you think he got away from it, but true justice was served to him. Because that is how God is. I don't call out or demean other people, since do I judge righteously? Absolutely. Do I give perspective? Yes. But only true judgment is God's judgment.
Yeah, that's true. See, unfortunately, he was by this time he was calling himself 3 God. Riaz. He was basically
But there's only one true
that
God.
he was right, but he
There's
was telling
only-
everybody that he was basically Jesus Christ reincarnated. That was part of
What?
his shit.
That's crazy. That's a
agree.
form of shirk, though. So basically, all I'm gonna say is I agree with you. You know, so what it is, though, right? God forgives all sins, but the only sin that will never be forgiven is committing heresy. Yeah, but I
Or
use the term.
blasphemy,
I
yep.
use the Arabic name, though. The Arabic name is called shirk and kafir. Yeah. So when you commit shirk, you become a kafir, and when you're called a kafir, you're called a hypocrite. So you think you're worshiping God, but you're not actually doing if you commit that sin.
So what do y'all know about cult leaders as a whole?
I think with cult leaders as well,
just
they
use-
mostly target. Okay, I'll go first. So basically, cult leaders mostly target people, though, who mostly target people from broken environments, though. You know, like in a weakened mental state or broken environments. Of course, they could go after almost anybody, but mostly the main target they go for is people who have nothing going on in life.
Yep, absolutely. And they use false beliefs and manipulations to get over on said people. Give them a false sense of hope by joining my group. I'll give you power beyond your wildest imagination. You know, BS
Or
like that.
Or loneliness. some people are very lonely in this world, right? So mostly, leaders like that target people who are lonely, since they have nobody and they have no sense of purpose, or they feel alone, right? Since they feel alone and they have no one, basically the reason why that manipulation tactic work on lonely people more is because they have nobody and they feel like they want to belong.
Yeah, that's
That
what I
can
was.
happen to
That's what I
anybody.
noticed. Like there
I
was
was just
somebody
saying,
who was in the army, and he said once he got out the army, it was like he didn't have a mission anymore. You know what I mean? Like, because he knew what he was supposed to be doing every day when he was in the service. It was for the common good of the group and stuff like that. And when he was released, he felt lost, and that's one of the reasons why he joined. So I agree with you there.
Yeah, because look, in a way, of course, they can target anybody, but the main reason they go after people, those the ones that you, me, and Hustle are mentioning, is because it's more easier to manipulate them. Like a person like me and you, they could try, but you'll immediately know what they're going for, because you already have stuff to live for, and you already know what you're going for, and you also experience too, so experience in a sense, though, mentally, where the game is going.
But what about the character?
Some people aren't fortunate.
Yeah, because I think we agree with the people who choose to follow. But what about the leader himself? What do you think about some characteristics of the cult leader?
I think he has mental health issues, though. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying
sugarcoat this shit. Like, listen,
when I say he's got mental health issues, I'm not taking that lightly, because mental health is serious topic thing, though, and I'm not like throwing that card anyways. Though I'm not throwing that anyway,
No, I feel you. You just like, hey, that's the bottom line. Sometimes it is that damn simple. What you got, H&M? I see you off mute. You good?
Yeah, but anyways, I think it's
I'm still here. I'm still here.
I thought you wanted to say
something.
I don't know. Well, I guess I can say this. Yeah, based on all the movies and the stuff I hear, that's how these cult leaders get them. Like you said, target people who feel like they have no purpose, no reason for living. Now they're going to use false beliefs to kind of give them a purpose, give them a reason. The only problem is it's usually, like they say, false prophets or whatever, just to snatch you in or whatever. You see it in movies and TV shows all the time. You got that guy and that person or people in the robes or whatever, wearing the little cloaks, preaching like there's some powerful warlord, a powerful god, and the people just follow them, and they just follow their lead because, well, they believe him.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes they go for people who've been through some shit. They go through people who've been through some bullshit or currently going through some stuff, and they have no purpose.
That's the main target, though. I agree with you, but I was saying that's the main target, but also people, though. Do they go after other people? Absolutely. But the main target, though, yeah, I agree on that too. Plus, though, also, though, when it comes to when he's got mental health issues, though, that has been undiagnosed, or he's got any potential, like, personal problems, but, that type of thing. So it's like, I don't know, it's deeper than that. But simply mental health issues, or some people have this complex, though, right, where they think they're so great that, they make themselves believe such things.
It's just like a gang or a criminal organization. What kind of people usually join gangs? Come from broken homes, no family structure. Mom and dad probably on drugs, or they were criminals themselves.
Yeah, but I was going to say, though, I said there's also chances of people from two-parent homes, though, who actually join gangs, though. There's like South Asians, though, in the UK, but they came from UK and South Asians, right? Some of them, though, right? They come from two-parent homes where they chose that lifestyle,
Well, we all know a two-parent household doesn't
we all know how, like,
guarantee a proper upbringing. We all know that.
Oh, no, I get you on what you mean, though. You're right. Wait, also, though, I think the way it is that he's got this big brother complex, though.
Who is that?
Good point.
I'm talking, the guy we're talking about, right? you asked though, like I feel like he got not just the complex that we just mentioned, the way he makes himself think he's that, what he said he was, right? I feel like he's also got a big brother complex, where he feels he knows better than anybody. But he's acting like that brother, that bigger brother who knows everything.
Knows everything.
And does everything, but not actually what the people want him to do, though, actually. Instead of listening, though, he just does it without listening. Like, for example, right, in Top Boy, right? I'll give you a Top Boy reference, though, right? In Hustler, though, like, there's this character of Shane, right? He's got this big brother complex. He's that OG in the hood, though, right? Who thinks he knows better, and he thinks he knows everything, and he thinks he's helping people out, but he's not actually listening to what the people around him that love him and, that support him, right, are telling him, look, this is not what I really wanted you to do, but he's doing what he thinks is right because he's making the money, right? Because he feels in his mind he's looking out for the whole hood, though. But actually, in a way, slowly over time, when he became more and more rich, he became more and more selfish. And that selfishness made his downfall.
Well, it seemed at least
like I said in the chat, he's worse than Diddy. Shit.
Yeah.
It seems like taking into consideration his past and everything, he definitely didn't have a lot of control. You know what I mean? It seems like there's a lot of control issues because things happened to him that he didn't want to happen. He didn't have his parents. He lived in foster care. He was kicked out. You know what I mean? Like, it was just so many things.
Okay. I forgot to mention.
It seemed like that was like what was driving him the most, is he wanted to be able to control other people.
Whoa, actually, though, and I actually forgot to mention, it's not just mental health issues. Some of them actually go through a very tough life type thing, but actually, like trauma too, the trauma element added as well. So, like, his backstory and how he is and what he grew up with, right? And he basically not just, made himself think like that, but also thinking he can control every outcome possible. But it's not possible, but he made himself think he could do it. And the way manipulating and everything like that, it can only go for so long until his downfall happens. And it happened, and true justice is served.
Well, whatchamacallit?
Yep, true that.
You definitely got his justice served. Genesis, you're silly. What's up? She said, "Hey, sugars again." Again.
Salute to Genesis.
Yeah. I'll say she got a rap too. Never mind.
Well, she's been on my show multiple times. So
no, I
go from innocent to medicine. I
was wondering if she had if you had wrote her a little.
She does.
Hot little 16. You know what I'm saying?
A little what?
Little spit some bars for her. You know how you be doing for me. I wonder if she got one too.
Bar.
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's all. That's what's up.
She can go from innocent to medicine in a heartbeat.
What's up, Frida Green in the building?
Yeah.
That was early holding it down.
Yeah, that Frida, bro. Come in there, man. So yeah, I feel you though, that type thing though, but it's actually, in some kind of simple type thing though as well. Like when you actually ask the question though, what he got, I feel like he's got mental health issues, and that just contributed to everything else. Like, I'm not saying that, like, basically, though, like, everyone else has got mental health issues. Even I do, though. But I'm saying there's a fine line between, like, it's like a fine line with that as well, right? Where you actually, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but you get what I'm getting at, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's always, levels to it. But, yeah, he's, and nobody's perfect, but he took what he went through and his, his different voids or have-nots or whatever to a whole nother
Instead
level.
of seeking professional help, he made himself give those thoughts, and he caved in and basically committing that act. And also though, right, him actually doing that, right, is I'm not calling out or demeaning other people's sins, but actually him actually doing that, and based on the information, the facts, and also the witnesses and credible stuff and justice stuff type thing though, for real though, actually, him doing that though, actually he thinks he got away, but he never got away. Not that, even, let's say, look, even if the feds is not watching, you know who's really watching? The one who made you. And you think you're getting away, but you're not truly getting away, actually. You're just being given time though until your true downfall actually come. And I'm not, that type thing. I don't want that energy thrown back at me. I'm just keeping it real like that.
I feel you, but I mean, at the same time, I don't think everybody feels the same way, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? They might have given up on their faith so long ago.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And also,
you know what they say about karma.
Yep.
What you mean, H&M?
You know what they say about karma. Karma is a real, well,
Well,
people like that usually get theirs.
I thought you were going to explain like the concept of karma.
Oh, wait, karma is something to do with good or bad deeds, though, and like what you put out is what you get back. So like that type of energy. So it's not just conscious energy; it's subconscious level type of energy too. So what energy, what vibe, what subconscious and conscious energy you're putting out is the same thing that is being thrown back at you as well. So that's like my way of explaining karma type of way.
Yeah, because I mean, that's the only thing that probably could actually make a difference to a person who don't have a faith system or don't believe in that higher power that's always watching,
Absolutely. You know what I also say as well? Some people, right? They don't believe in a faith system or anything like that, and you don't believe no one's watching you. Imagine how you see yourself, okay? Like imagine how you see yourself, and when you look in the mirror, if nobody's watching you, you are watching yourself. So like that type thing. Imagine no one's watching you. Who's there watching you is you. So imagine how you have to take yourself, into consideration about the way you move. So, if somebody doesn't have a faith system, I got a faith system. So that's why I say it like that.
I know, I feel you. I just one thing that I kind of tried to make a habit of is to try not to speak from my personal perspective all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand that like the circumstances that I might have went through are unique to other people, and vice versa. You know what I mean? So I try to when we're looking at this guy and what he's been through and stuff, I just try to, to keep it on the perspective of that. He's never really mentioned anything about actually like having a faith system or whatever, but it seems like, like a lot of other people, they like to use bits and pieces from religious texts and things like that to pervert or to prove their personal stance on things, right? So he was definitely, and this is disgusting. This is disgusting, but this is how bad it got. He was trying to convince his followers that by consuming, and just hear me out, okay? By consuming his semen, they could receive downloads of information.
Consuming his semen. What kind of sick BS is that? Ugh.
And he was talking to the men and the women.
What? That's disgusting. What the hell?
Yeah.
That's just nasty.
So in the end, H&M, it ended up evolving into a sex cult. Like the men and women, they couldn't decide who they wanted to be with in relationships. He pretty much, would say things like, God told me that I should sleep with all the women that like, it was craziness. And all this stuff was just like, if a woman was hit, that was because she has inner demons and she's being corrected. It was a crazy environment.
I mean, to be fair, that whole sleeping around with different women is something people even outside of a cult believe in. Get multiple women so you can gain a resume and gain experience. But this just seemed like a whole new level of taking a simple concept and flipping it upside his head just to get over on people.
Oh, okay. So basically,
Definitely. I mean, there was even virgins in that group
whoa,
that
is
were
weird,
no
though.
longer, you know what I'm saying, who were
I mean, it's bad enough you got
deflowered.
it's bad enough you got people, regular average folks like us who believe in BS. I'm not saying us in particular, but regular people outside of a cult who believe in crap like that. But when you start adding all that manipulation into it, oh man, you know,
Oh,
the
so
promiscuous
basically,
lifestyle aspect.
I got
oh, so
I
basically, I
have
was gonna
I
say
have a
this,
clip.
all right,
Hold on real
husband.
quick. Hold on real quick, Riaz. I even got a clip of whatchamacallit, young Pharaoh confronting him because there was, you know what I'm saying, there was too many allusions and people alluding to catching STDs as well.
Oh my God, man, that had a good level. Oh, wow. I was just gonna say, though,
Disgusting.
right? So basically, though, right? You know, when you mention the promiscuous type of lifestyle, though, that some people try to advise me, but anyways, off of me, no, basically, he took that same concept, right, but pushed it to a further extreme, right?
For sure.
Oh,
don't
wow,
know.
that is so disgusting. What the?
That is
Yeah, like I said, he just okay. I got your message, H&M. You good? But no, I just think that, like I said, he was a kid who didn't have control over his situations. You know what I'm saying? I really think that was the major thing that was driving him. You know, of course, that and sexual perversion, but being able to tell people what to do, like, so that's a lot of people's dream come true, believe it or not.
Well, that is crazy. So basically, a lack of control because he's been through so much type thing, and he feels so he wants to control. So the control element and trying to manipulate / telling other people what to do is some people's main fantasy in their mind because they have a lack of control of life on their own way, on their own. So they feel that they can do that to other people, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think, and don't quote me on this one, but I even think the little mustache man that, jailed and deleted all those people.
Yeah.
He was kind of came from like a similar background. I believe I don't know if he grew up as an orphan or I can't remember what it was, but it just seems like, people, when you got to have control over the masses like that, there's something wrong with you, like,
Yeah.
for real.
Wait, so like he was pushing the idea of what could the ARYP Aryan. You know the truth. You know who the real Aryan people is, though, Persians, because you know what they were called. They were called the Aryans, but now because of that guy, right? They had to change the spelling of how you spell it, right? You put two Y's to actually tell the difference between the historical name and the wrong name. You know.
See, people be messing it up for everybody. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me switch back.
Oh wait, this question right here. Are you trying to, and now this comment right here is interesting. Are you trying to understand him and sympathize with him? I'm just trying to understand the goal or summary of what are you trying to convey to the audience? This comment right here.
Yeah, I see it, INC. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you look at the title, we're just going over the Nature Boy documentary and other cult-like activities. So over here, you know what I'm saying, on my channel, some things I like to do, and one of the things I like to do is to bring up awareness. We talked about cyber stalking, you know what I'm saying, and just computer awareness not too long ago. So this is just more about tendencies.
Yeah, I do remember though. I remember one time. Wait, I was gonna tell you. I do remember we talked about ghost stuff as well. I remember one of your streams, though, right? I was there. We was talking about the paranormal and everything.
We've talked about a lot of stuff. But let me bring this back. Let me bring this back up. This is the actual, like, one of the last interviews that he did before he got arrested. And again, shouts out to Sanetta in Nepal for the great content. You guys go follow them at Conscious House TV. Let me see here. Y'all can get a little, like I said, a little more of an idea of this nigga's like psychosis and how he had people like literally wrapped around his finger.
Okay, I'm probably gonna pray on myself before I start this.
Okay, no problem. And for anybody that's listening right now, there's going to be a little weird sound that you're going to hear. He has like one of those desk waterfalls. You know what I'm talking about? Like one of those like you put it on your desk, you can plug it into the wall or whatever. You put the water in there, the water just kind of recycles and keeps like falling down the rocks. So if you hear a little trickling of water and stuff in the background, that's what that is.
All right, I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah, because the real reason I said I want to pray on myself so I can protect myself from any potential whatever energy type thing, you know. It's always good to do that. So yeah, let's begin.
Okay.
What are you smoking, by the way, man?
A herb.
What kind of herb is that? What they call it?
Not the one you smoke. Something a little bit different. But I know a friend that knows a friend that knows a friend. Let's talk over air. He said, right. Let me a story.
And mind you, y'all, like I said, this is an interview where he's supposed to be asking or answering questions and stuff like that. But he spends half of, this is where the narcissism comes out, because instead of spending this time answering the questions and being engaged in the conversation, he's too busy trying to get his setup going.
Whoa, that is crazy.
Ready?
Yeah. And like I said, shouts out to the content creators again, because they had the patience of Job. Goddamn, I'd have been like, bruh, like, can you answer a question or I'm gonna have to get ready to go? But they ended up getting some really good content. Sometimes it's worth waiting. Sometimes it's worth entertaining the conversation.
Rest was so good. Do we have more in the fridge? We have more? I need a little bit right now. Can you bring some?
Do you remember the question, brother?
Yes, you were telling me about, you were saying something about Velvet.
Yes, the first lady, Velvet.
The story of that.
As far as her coming back. Hold on, calm down, brother. As far as her coming back, is there a possibility that you think Velvet might be coming back with her little seed, with her king, regardless of all the pain she went through, the hell she went through, because she came here and told everybody. So I'm just going by what she was saying, brother. So I'm gonna leave that up to you and let you address that.
Okay. Before the white man got here, we had a way of living.
He on the bullshit already. He asked, oh my God, he asked if the mother of his children, do you think that she would ever come back? And he talking about the white man.
Without the prison system here, the black man rules the earth.
This nigga bugged out, boy. This nigga is crazy. He could have really took his career somewhere if he would have took it serious, and you could have been.
Child. Okay. Well, first of all, Sonetta is reviewing his own video, so you will hear his commentary from time to time. That's what you're hearing right now. Child, at this point in the game, he was calling himself 3 God. So the symbol that you see right now is the number 3, and almost like, I don't know, the eye, I don't know what it is, you know what I'm saying, with conscious folks with the eye, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's basically they putting their 3s up in I guess reference to him. So that's what the hand signal is. Pledge Zeta. No. And yeah, the guys with the holding their hands in the pyramid formation, it's just something that he has trained them to do.
You know, goddamn comedian.
Yes, that's a 3 on his face.
Wait,
is a real life. Yes.
Well, okay, I believe you on that thing. No, but I was gonna ask, could you also tell by the look on his face, his mind is deteriorating?
Because it was no one else
Yeah.
but us.
All right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna know my computer's
So
moving slow.
there was a different mindset.
Yeah, this is because I've heard him talk before, you know, like I said, when he first started off, his tone was different. He wasn't as aggressive. You can definitely tell that something is off. You know, he's like he's flipping in between different personalities or different, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, he's got like at least 2 or 3 people living in his head, I swear to God, because I noticed exactly what you noticed, Riaz, you know, just the look on his face and the change in his demeanor, almost at like the snap of a finger. It's crazy. Yes, this is hilarious. I think I've watched this at least 3 times, Candy. Like, but it's what is fun. The one with young Pharaoh is funnier, and I'm gonna pull that up later too.
A woman would never think in her mind to ever cross her chief, because she knew that her chief protected and provided for her. And if she would betray her chief, take his child.
Deposit teeth. This nigga, oh my God. Hold on.
If a woman.
Oh my God. Riaz, oh my God. Like, this nigga barking like a dog and doing all kinds of stuff. Give me 1 second. I think I know who this is, but I'm not sure. Give me 1 second. Is this Omni?
It is.
Okay. What is up with your avatar, man? I've been to ask you that. Like, who is that and why? Like,
You know what? I was gonna change my name and my avatar back so I could be serious in this conversation. But when
is
he
that
did what
Jada
he just
Pinkett?
when he
Who
it's-
is that?
oh, it's Ready Rock Jada. It's Ready Rock Jada.
Oh my God.
When she was in the, you know what I'm saying, she was back selling that Ready Rock with you know what I'm saying, Tupac in the 90s. But allegedly, that's what the story is. I don't believe it. But
Right.
yeah, I
you
was
know
gonna
what I'm saying?
I was gonna switch up everything, and then he did what he did. I was like, no, this is perfect for the conversation. Wow.
So you familiar with this character, correct?
I'm familiar with Side Netta. I'm not familiar with
Okay.
the other two, but I am familiar with Side Netta because I used to be I got introduced to what I refer to as the half-step and hotep space via originally it was Dr. Sebi, and then someone that was a huge proponent of Dr. Sebi was Brother Polite.
Okay.
And so I got introduced to that space through Brother Polite because Dr. Sebi used to talk about Brother Polite so much. And you know, we know what happened with Brother Polite.
Yes,
So
indeed.
yeah. So And then, you know, I started like branching off into Dr. Umar and whatnot because I wanted to believe in, you know what I'm saying, black men trying to do something for black people so bad. And then, you know what I'm saying, all of that was quickly dashed. All of that was dashed.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is Sinetta looks good here. Like he looks better now than he did then, honestly. So
He
it's good to
came up
see
a
him.
little bit.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's
so
good to see the brother doing well.
yeah, and the lady, this is his wife, Nepal.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful, right?
Yeah,
So
he's
they
doing
actually-
well.
Right.
He's doing
right.
well.
And shouts out to Keon, yeah. And shouts out to both of them. The fact that they sat there with a straight face, they need to be rewarded. I totally agree. That's why sometimes it's worth entertaining the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because sometimes even you've probably seen and heard this type of feedback as well, depending on who it is. If it's a, you know, white supremacist, you know what I'm saying, something like that. We kind of be like, well, why you got them up on the panel and this, that, and the third. Sometimes it's worth entertaining the bullshit because like this type of stuff was actually used in court against him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Documented and everything. So yes, they definitely deserve some type of recognition or something, like for real. But no, I understand what you're saying though, Omni, because that's where I was, you know what I mean, when the pandemic hit and most people was like, you know, talking about the Fight Club stuff or whatever. I was on my Black consciousness stuff, and even you know, watching people like Young Pharaoh. Like that's how I found out about Nature Boy, because he was on his head. You understand me? Like I used to love their little debates and stuff. But yeah, it you know, you just got to take it for what you can, and just get rid of the rest, you know, because these leaders, you know, that's more cult-like activity, right? Like they're very flawed. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the essence of what they're doing and whatever organization that they've put together, it's very flawed. And it usually always leads towards some sexual stuff. Like, what is that all about?
Yeah. See, I wasn't there for the sexual stuff. So I kind of like, I tried to ignore it, but it always went back to that, and that's why I'm like, yeah, nah, this ain't for me. That's what it is. But that's why going through their content is why I developed my I'll call it a theory of mentorship from afar. It's like no human being that you're going to find on this earth is perfect. So what you do is you take the bits that you can learn from them and discard the rest.
Right.
I didn't need any of the sexual information that they were peddling. I didn't need any of that. Thank you. And so, you know, Brother Polite, he was good with business structure, finances. Dr. Sebi, he was great with, we all know that man, that all these white people were stealing all his ideas for, you know what I'm saying, when it came to certain vegetables, because he was big on discarding even, you know, the hybrid vegetables, the broccoli, and down nowadays the discussion of reducing the body's levels of inflammation through nutrition alone is everywhere. When Dr. Sebi was talking about it, he was the only one talking about it. And then after he passed, now you see all the elderberry supplements come out. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
So yeah, they were quick. It was so fast. After he passed, now I saw elderberry supplements like within a month in Walmart. I was like, wait a minute, elderberry, that's like the primary berry that Dr. Sebi was talking about. So yeah, but also, you know, saying the man was in his 80s procreating with a 24-year-old. So it's like
right.
So you got to discard things that you don't want reflective in your life, but they still had good information to provide. But yeah, they were freaked out of their mind.
Yeah. See, and honestly, it is what it is. I know, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Ever since I've been a part of the space, but I mean, that's exactly how I feel about people like Princella. You know what I'm saying? Did I enjoy her content? Yes. Did I believe and suck in everything that she said? Hell no. You feel what I'm saying? But it was, some things were useful, especially if it contained articles or some type of source backed up, to substantiate something. But it's just like, yeah, you can't put too much stock into these people, man, because they just human, just like us.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
But yeah, and on the Princella note, I was like, it's okay to concede some arguments because she does. I said this before. People think that people made me out to be like a huge Princella supporter just to concede one thing on. You know what I'm saying? You look foolish when you don't concede certain arguments. And I was like, she had a point
Right.
with something because she was saying a lot of the things that Kevin Samuels was saying. So is Kevin Samuels wrong for saying essentially some of the same things that she was saying? And that's where the
Right.
conversation gets goofy. Is you got a woman echoing the same sentiments, but now because she is a woman, she is wrong for saying the same thing that Kevin Samuels was saying. So now, if what she was saying was wrong, then that means by default what Kevin was saying was wrong. And it was like, no, just because she's a woman, the point that she's making is still a valid point. They clipped me up for trying to make that point, and yeah, against JP of all people. It was like, we already know what his take is on relationships and whatnot, but yeah. So that's just what it is. You could take bits and pieces from people, but you don't let them steer your entire life. I don't think you should let any one person determine your fate. That is foolishness. That's utter foolishness. It's like LA,
Absolutely.
you hear something that I say on here, not going back doing your research, and it's like, well, Omni said it, so I gotta move different. No, please, I don't want that kind of control over your life.
Right.
Don't give me
Right.
that kind of
That's what
power.
I was.
Please, nobody give me that
Right.
kind of power.
That's what I was saying earlier. Like, people who have to, you know what I mean? Like, the way that they feel important is to have a bunch of people following them or whatever. I'm just like, that's already an imbalance. I don't want that type of pressure, or I don't want the responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, no, it's too much. It's too much. Do I have useful, information and advice? Yeah, take what works for you, and give me back the rest. You know what I'm saying? It's no
Right.
big deal. But those people
I
who get
just
so like
think, so
unbalanced with
I
the
get you.
need to control is kind of crazy.
All I was
What's up,
gonna say is
Midnight?
I get you on that thing though. And what I was saying is I'm just flawed just like everybody else though. I ain't better than nobody. I'm flawed like everyone else, and take what you can take from me. If you agree, okay. If you disagree, cool. That's just how it is. That's just I get you on what you're saying though, just flawed like everybody else, and there's no such thing as perfection though, because humans are not perfect.
Right. Right. I did find, like I said, a little something, little blast from the past, man. This is back from 2018 conversation between Young Pharaoh and Nature Boy. Supposedly because there was allegations of Nature Boy spreading around STDs in his camp. Now, Ami, real quick,
It
because
always goes back to say, like, it's crazy. It always.
but do you
Oh.
think, what do you think about people like Young Pharaoh pressing guys like this about their behavior? Do you think that it's necessary?
Yeah, I mean, as men, we judge all those scenarios. We judge it when it's any celebrity in the news or whatever. It's like Usher being out here. We can't understand why these women are going up to the concerts accepting anything from Usher, like, what I'm
Right.
saying, licking Usher's cherries. Pause. and and he's been in the news for allegedly having herpes, the herpy jerpy. So like, yeah, listen.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I think when we have sexual deviance or people with sexual deviant behaviors, it's acceptable to call them out. because if we're not going to spread awareness while they're spreading disease or whatever it is they're spreading, you know what I'm saying? We're not doing our job.
Amen. I like the way you put that. We spreading diseases and not awareness. I know that's right. That was something that I kind of had to explain earlier today, because it's like trying to, like going behind the scenes in terms of like how did a person get to where they are is not sympathy or trying to find or make excuses for anything. It is awareness. You know what I'm saying? Because everything
Right.
can be broken down almost into like a math problem. You know what I mean? When you take the nature, the nurture, the circumstances, the way that the person processed the information, or how they were, if they were even helped, you know what I'm saying, to process certain things that they went through. Like it all adds up to the end result that we see. So I just I'm big about the awareness as well. I just, people just, when they see stuff happen on the internet, they just think that, oh, it's not a big deal, it's just entertainment, it's none of your business, and why do you take things so personal? That shit bothers me, you know what I'm saying? Because like it all becomes, all of this stuff becomes normalized if it's ignored. You know what I mean? If it's downplayed, then certain things, that's just downright wrong become not so bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know. I appreciate these types of call outs. I appreciate these types of call outs because, looks can be deceiving. And, I mean, if he changed his hairstyle, I've seen him with a different hairstyle. He's not a bad looking dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many people get fooled, you know what I'm saying, from the pretty face of the person who's well put together, who's super charismatic or whatever. Shit, like you said, or Usher, and got them bumps. You feel me? Got that thing. So yeah, guys, think twice. Okay, let me start this
Absolutely.
up.
So what?
And this is Pharaoh in his prime. What you say?
Oh no, I haven't seen much of a matter of fact, I don't recall seeing this one at all, the Pharaoh Nature Boy debacle. I did see Pharaoh versus Brother Polite, but I didn't see him versus Nature Boy, so this would be interesting.
Yeah, they've got a few of these. You can type this in and at least find at least 2 or 3 different episodes. Like, I don't know what it is. I feel like at one point, like Nature Boy definitely admired young Pharaoh, you know what I'm saying, and would do like make certain comments about him on, on his page and on social media to kind of provoke young Pharaoh to respond to him. And this is how they would he would basically, get him on Instagram to have these asinine debates. But you'll hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get my thoughts together. To that, I want to say, what you said about me, I don't really care, because we said we ain't gonna curse. I don't really care. It don't, nothing that nobody say about me hurts my feelings. You see, my issue with you is this. It's not that you was calling me a false prophet or trolling me. And by trolling me, this is what I mean by trolling me, right? I started doing music. You started doing music. I posted a song called Back Jumping. You posted a song called Back Jumping. You start calling me a false prophet, all kind of shit. You called Dr. Shabi a false prophet. I ignored all of that. I let all that slide. When I got into it with the Nation of Islam, you changed your name from Master Teacher to the Honorable Master Teacher because Elijah Muhammad's name is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So you was trolling me heavy for a couple months. I ignored you. What really put me on your head is because you out here manipulating people and you using your little coat to get your personal rocks off. Now, me personally, why I have made it my mission and agenda to blast you is for 2 reasons. For one, once I get started on a nigga and I give a nigga my attention, I'm not going to stop till you obliterate it. So it's cool that you acknowledging that you started this, but I'm just telling you once again, I finished it and I'm going to continue to finish it. Now, for 2, my other reason for blasting on you is because you took my information and toxified it to create your little cult. You used the black woman as God, okay, to wane everybody in. And once you got your little cult started, Now you on this Christ consciousness and this, that, and the third. So I personally feel responsible and obligated to pluck you out because it's my teachings that you use to get where you at. So when you say we could be powerful and all of that, the majority of the people in here, 80% of the people in here don't know who you are. They only in here for me. So I just don't want you to think that we eye to eye are on the same level in any type of way. And then for two, the people that's around you,
I thought this was two.
Only, well, now I'm gonna give it back to you because we're being calm. The people that's around you is only around you because they running from their own responsibilities in so-called Babylon. And so when we talking about obligation, right? The internet is powerful because you can reach anybody around the world. You recently just had a young, and I'm gonna make my example, then I'm gonna pass it back. You recently just had a young man come over there and join you. And this is gonna be my perfect example. That young man didn't join you because of the information that you speak, because 90% of the things that you say, according to my opinion, is some of the craziest shit I've ever heard. He joined you because he believes he won't have to pay bills, he won't have to get a Babylonian education, and he won't have to function in what we call modern society over here. He joined you because he wants to run away from life. And so he think he can live in nature, not pay no bills. He see you over there what appears to be in a polygamous relationship, and he wants to have that too. And so what we're seeing here is people are not coming to you from information because you yourself use the internet, which means everybody over there could have used the internet right from over here in Babylon and learned everything that you apparently yourself seem to have learned. People are going over there because they're trying to run from responsibility. Everybody over there either got a kid they left behind or they have an STD that they thought you were going to cure. And so this is where my issue comes in, because a woman died over there with you, trusting in your teaching by the name of Mama Dia. And so now this is where I have a problem with it. If you was just doing what you do on the internet, even still trolling me and not harming nobody, I wouldn't give a fuck. But when people get to believing in you to the point where they stop taking their medication and they die, or people giving birth to premature children and don't think the children need to be examined by medical doctors, and now we just waiting on a countdown, or you yourself are showing symptoms, self-admittedly, of what appears to be HIV or AIDS, and nobody's questioning that, and you got women still engaging in sexual acts with you, or you've had sex with every woman over there and either passed her to one of them niggas that's behind you who's scared to speak up. This is why I have a problem, because once you get done using people the way you want to use them, you send them back over here. And if nobody knows what you're doing, they could potentially...
I'm sorry,
He's
Pharaoh.
cooking.
Man, what? That's all. I'm just like,
Yeah, I agree.
okay, it's really a shame. Oh, where he at right now. But anyway, I really appreciate, and I can respect the fact that he acknowledges, you know what I'm saying, almost like a partial responsibility. You know what I mean? Because it's obvious that Nature Boy was just taking the good parts, you know what I mean, from people. You remember what we were just talking about that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
He was taking the good parts from people, and one of the things that he took from Pharaoh is the black woman is God, right? And he perverted it. You know what I'm saying? So now he says he feels responsible to pluck his ass out, and I can respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, I didn't know that Pharaoh started the black woman as God because I first heard that from Brother Polite. I heard that first from Brother Polite. It was
the chicken or the egg type of situation, because
yeah,
they was kind of out at the same time.
But
hold on, just real quick. Just shouts out, happy birthday to Third Ward Colombian. No, you ain't getting old, you getting better. Stop playing. Y'all make sure to say happy birthday. Okay.
Oh yeah, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Third Ward. So
we're just him feeling.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, but yeah, the whole polygamy thing, they just brought. It always goes back to sex, and now I see why when I would bring up and speak about polygamy, I see why sisters tend to take it the wrong way because they always think that, oh, you just want to have sex with all these women. I'm like, nah, don't get me wrong, that's a component of it, but that's not the
I kind
primary
of
thing.
feel you on
That's
that
not the
element.
hold on,
Sorry.
Riaz.
You know, Riaz.
That's not the primary thing. Like, because women always talk about they need more support, and if the man is always out working, this is the way that it was. I was able to rationalize the polygamy argument. So if a man is always out working and he's not in the home, but he's always supporting the home financially, but you need support within the home, then having a sister wife would make the utmost sense. And especially a sister, and especially, well, this is a component of polygamy that most don't talk about because they just think, like, men just think that they're going to go out and choose their own woman and whatever. No, the first wife chooses the second wife, and then the first two wives choose the next wife, because it's not
Absolutely.
about you and your personal desires. It's about what works collectively for the clan, the family unit.
Exactly. Wait,
Right.
so
So
giving me
it's
to speak. Sorry, I was just
oh,
gonna say that
go ahead,
based
Riaz.
on that though as well, you know, it's the faith I follow. I'm allowed to marry four wives and it's a choice. And basically when it comes to four wife thing with me, right? One, you have to do justice between all four wives. You have to treat them all equally. You have to provide for all four. And also though, you
Exactly.
know, and also though being Muslim, if you want four wives, you have to, a Muslim man's supposed to ask his first wife for permission to marry second wife. And basically, you know what she can do as well, right? She can instantly decide though, like, look, when you're married to that person, she can put a stipulation where it says that you cannot marry four wives as long as we're together, you know, and that instantly stops anything if you don't want to. But then also, though, when you have four wives, you need to treat them all equally, and you have to actually be rich while you do it. And yeah, the intimacy part is an element to it, but there's more to it as well, though. And also,
Absolutely.
when you marry four wives, you need to buy 4 or 5 homes. So each wife has their own home, and you're supposed to actually be like the, you know, was it the mediator between all four of them. So if they have a problem, you're supposed to mediate the problem within it.
Y'all need to take notes, no, for real. And that's it. But Omni, at the same time, you can understand the hesitation, right? Because for the
Because
most
these
part,
niggas is freaked out. That's
Oh
listen.
yeah,
That's what it comes
I
down
would say
to.
the other hesitation is
definitely
though,
missed
right?
the whole
Some men
point
can
of
barely provide for one wife. So I was gonna say that some men can barely provide for one wife and can barely
right.
take care of himself while providing for one wife. What makes what makes him think that he can do 4 wives? Look, can I be real with you, right? I'm open to the possibility of 4 wives, but I'm okay with 1 wife only because it's realistic, to be honest, though, you know? Imagine how I would be affected as well while I do it. Imagine, I probably have 4 different people, you know, like, look, of course, they're like in a joke way, though, you know, like both husband and wife get in each other's head and they give each other headaches and stress and they love each other. But then also imagine 4. I'll probably, instead of having a headache, I'll have a heart attack because I'm overworked, overstressed, and basically, you know, that type of thing. And also have to deal with all 4 of them. So there's good and bad to it.
Yeah. Shouts out to King Amir in the building.
No, but I
I had
think,
a question though. I had a question because
sure.
Omni, you said earlier, you know, like if you're gonna be out working, you know, and she needs help or whatever, why are people so against like living with family, whether it be grandma, like actual family? You know what I'm saying? It's like when most people get married, they want to separate and have their own little thing. But the village has always been aunties and uncles and grandparents and everything
I
else.
had them.
They definitely got the best interest for your kids. How come people are so against that, but want to throw in something that they've never seen work successfully, like polygamy?
So
In your
it
opinion?
really started when men were removed from the home. Now we could get into a whole diatribe about the different conditions and what caused it, if it was feminism or the white man. But the man was removed from the home, so let's start there. Okay, so when the man was removed from the home, you have this woman here with these children. She's overworked, stressed out, and now she has to work 2, 3 jobs in order to make ends meet, while at the same time trying to deal with the kids, and the government says that they're no longer your responsibility by 18. So now she's on the type of time is I've been working 3 jobs, 2 jobs for financial support of the home, and the 3rd job is me as a mother. When I get home, I'm exhausted, so your ass is out by 18. And so now everybody has this mindset of, okay, I need to be out by 18, and you know what I'm saying, the family unit, we're not going to act as a family, we're going to, as families have in the past. Because what you're talking about through the agricultural era, through the rural feudal era, through colonialism, that's how families move. But when we got to the industrial age, and then even more now so in the tech age, that's when you start to see the schism of independence in society, and now people are moving more like more towards their own individual micro, what I call the micro family, the nuclear family, where it's just I'm going to worry about me, my wife, my children, and you know what I'm saying. We're actually now seeing that. You ever see the what's that movie that Martin did with Cedric the Entertainer? Roscoe, was it Roscoe Jenkins?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so like how he was trying to show off and compete with his family members.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what we see more of now today, is where like people are having their micro family, their individual family compete with the collective of family, when y'all are supposed to be working, building together for a legacy. And you know what I'm saying, we're not seeing people move like the Rothschilds, you know what I'm saying, or
not even the Hernandez,
or the Hernandez, or the
not even
the
the
Rockefellers, right?
Happy.
Or the Rockefellers, or the Hernandez, or you know what I'm saying, or Menendez. We're not seeing people move like Ferrari. We're not seeing people move like the Gucci family. We're not seeing them move like the Medivh. We're seeing them move. Everybody's trying to compete within their own family, and so now it's chaotic, because if we just looked at people's family trees and what people are doing for their individual family, and just give them a bit of perspective to be like, y'all could actually bring your resources together, form a family trust, have insurance policies in that trust, and keep all the wealth that y'all have amassed into perpetuity.
Right.
But parents die, we got to split up the assets, we got to sell the house so that we can split up the money from selling the house, and then you know what I'm saying, then we do whatever we do, trick off the money or whatever, and lose it all quicker than the previous generations worked their butt off to amass it. That's what I see happening nowadays. So it's so because of, you know what I'm saying, the idea that you're supposed to kick your child out. Now the child has been taught, okay, I'm on a timeline and I'm not going to receive any help from my family, so it's just me out here. And it's a lot of individualism and not collectivism, and not working for a greater goal as a family as a whole. That's what I see.
So in other words, the polygamy suggestion is just utter bullshit then.
No, the polygamy actually could work, because it would teach collectivism. It would teach that, you know what I'm saying, the family could work. But I don't think it's going to work.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to work today, because the reason why it wouldn't work today is because I think most women are of the mind that my man is my man, and you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize or have or share my man. It's big about sharing the man instead of sharing the family. You know what I'm saying? Instead of having a collective family, it's more about the emphasis and the onus is always put on the man for some reason.
Okay.
Which I've never looked at polygamy that way. I've looked at it as a huge responsibility, because if one woman is one headache for a man,
that's what I'm saying. You can't handle 2 or 3.
Bro, that's what I just said, though. I said in a joke way, though, right? In a joking tone. No, basically, imagine one wife is headache. What is 4, though? Heart attack.
Right. They don't know what they're inviting Riaz. They don't know what they're getting into with that. You
No,
know what
I
I'm saying?
know, but I'm saying that in a joking way, because of course, when you say that, though, it means, of course, there's love, but then in a joking way. Basically, it's like vice versa. The husband is a headache to the wife, actually. No, it's not just, no, but I'm saying that in a joking way, because it's actually love. They both love each other, but sometimes push each other's nerves.
Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah, but that means you care because I like, you know what I'm saying. I don't get bothered by people I don't care about. So if my
Yeah.
wife does something, it'll drive me up the fucking wall. But if some random chick down the corner, I'm like, oh, that's her. No, all right, whatever.
Oh, that
You know what I'm
makes
saying?
sense. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, actually. Yeah, I get you. Wait, but you know the real reason I'm not choosing to marry for wife is very realistic is right. You know the country I live in, I'm not allowed to marry for a wife. It's actually against the law. The law of the marriage law of 1973, which actually states that you're supposed to marry one wife only. But I don't get it though. It's hypocritical. You can have more than one girlfriend, but you can't have more than one wife. That make it make sense.
Because there's no commitment to a girlfriend, and this is what I want people to really understand. In America, in the United States of America, you're single until you're married.
Yeah.
You're single until you're married.
Technically, yeah.
I'm gonna say this especially for the men. In the United States of America, she is single. She is single until she is married. So you crashing out over something that you didn't lock down, that you stake no claim over, something that you didn't take responsibility for, is not worth it.
Yeah.
Walk away.
Wait, imagine
She
this.
is
though.
single until she's married, meaning if you didn't put a rock on her finger, whatever she does is fair game.
Okay. That makes sense. All I was gonna say, you know, it's also the main reason I could marry for a wife. Stay a person that's single mother and she can't get married though. I marry her and basically I'm helping her out. And stay a person who's a widow. I'm actually helping him out when I get married to him though. You know? So and stay a person who cannot get married and wants to marry, I marry her, I'm helping her out. So there is positives. Of course there's both negatives too, but there is many other reasons too, you know, when it comes to polygamy type thing. I'm open to staying with one, but also I'm open to four wife as well, because I'm willing to explore as well. Because my life is temporary, so why not, you know, explore?
Yeah, I'm not trying it. Not against anybody who does, because I know some people who are in polygamous situations and it seems to work for them. So kudos, but
My parents, so my dad, wait, look, my grandfather, he stuck with one wife. My father stuck with one wife. I think my grandfather's father stuck with one wife. So in my family, I guess since it's working, no, why change it?
Yeah.
The reason also sometimes I say to my mother, I want to marry for a wife is I want to be different from everyone in my family. Is that a wrong reason to say so?
By itself, yes, I would say so.
Yeah, but I think there's more to it.
To be different, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the reason why a lot of people do the things that they do, you know. But if it's something that you really believe in, though, like if it's something
I believe in though, but I'm like flexible. I believe in it, but I'm also open to committing to one.
Is there a reason? Okay, since your family, like, you know, that you practice, you know, and you technically are allowed to have one, is there a specific reason why, like, the other men in your family only married one woman and not more than one?
Wait, because it's a choice. The reason they chose to stuck with one wife only is because they were okay with staying in their marriage. They were happy with it, and you know, they were just okay. They were just committed to what. So why most men in my family just choose to stick with one wife only because they're just happy and they just understand the realistic aspects of four wives, and some of them just choose not to. I told my father I'm open to the possibility of it. All he told me was best of luck when it comes to that.
Okay. I was just curious. I don't know. And forgive me, I just be asking questions.
No, it's okay. I prefer you ask me questions. Wait, okay, I get what Albie's saying. I don't see anything wrong with that as long as you are willing to oblige. Yeah, I get you on that. But that's the communication factor. She's correct. I agree with her. Yeah, that's the communication factor. I guess also the real reason though as well. So nowadays though, actually maybe a long time ago it would be easier to do so, but I guess nowadays for me it's not gonna be that easy though, because look, I guess, not a lot would actually be willing to do it. So look, I'm willing to compromise as well. If she don't want me to, then I won't. I will respect her wish if she don't want me to, but say if, she decided though that it's okay for me to do so, I would do it. I'm just being honest though in a way, but realistically, I'm sticking with one because why not?
No, I mean, honesty is the best way to go. Like seriously, Riaz. So it's not gonna be, if that's what you want, and I'm like I said, as long as you have a happy marriage and it's a mutual thing, do your thing, man.
Okay.
Certain things ain't for me
I
though.
guess let's just see that. I'm saying this can it will change my
You
mind.
sound a little muffled.
How about now?
Okay, that's better.
Okay, so I was saying is, so look, if I say I want 4 wives now, right? But when I get married, I would change my mind because when I get married to the right person, that's one aspect I would change my mind. But then I'll also take into consideration different aspects of realistically, what will that happen to me and also what it'll do to her. So I take that into consideration. I take their feelings into consideration. So I say I'm open to the possibility. Actually doing it, that's kind of a tough one. Actually doing it, I'm open to it, but not likely now. I just say it though, but there's a difference between saying something and doing something. It's like a possibility you're open to explore, but you don't actually want to do it.
What's up, Third Ward? Welcome to the show. What's happening?
Hey, what's going on, LA?
Nothing much, just chilling. Happy birthday again.
Appreciate that.
Happy
Appreciate that.
birthday. Happy
Salute.
enjoy though.
Salute Riaz and to the other person on the panel. I don't know your name.
That's
but salute to you.
Omni.
It's
as well.
Omni.
Okay,
That's
salute,
Omni.
Omni.
Was that?
Salute. So this topic caught my attention because I've been around for a little minute in these spaces, and I remember how the whole Nature Boy thing started.
Okay,
And
cool.
I kind of want to go in a different direction than what y'all been going in. I'm not trying to throw up the conversation, but I want to go in a different direction. So
Okay.
when I look at a situation like this with this Nature Boy thing going on, to me, this is like no different than when you see like young, brothers growing up in the hood and, let's say they, come from like, a broken family, drug addicted families and stuff like that, or neglectful families, and then they go join a street gang, you know what I'm saying? Because, the street gang is something that they look at as, family that accepts them, validates them, things of that nature. And I look at this the same way, a lot of times when you see like street gangs and cults, the only reason why they're able to operate in the fashion that they are is because they depend on the souls of broken people. And what I mean by that is they depend on, recruiting people that are broken spiritually, emotionally, mentally, you know what I'm saying? Because if these were all healthy people in those ways and manners, they wouldn't be able to operate because people would be thinking with more common sense. Because me personally, and look, I get it. We've all at some point in our lives, we've been depressed or sad or down, and we might not have always made the best choices when we've been in that phase of our life. But for me, I've always been too much of like a free thinker and an individualist to where like I just could never see myself joining no cult or no gang and nothing like that, because one, it's not that I don't know how to work in a group, because I've worked in groups before and all of that, but it's just, if I see that something is just, it has no substance to it and there's no goal that's bigger than just self-serving goals, I'm not finna be a part of it or join it. So when I look at a Nature Boy, he's no different than any street gang leader, you know what I'm saying, or anybody that kind of fits that same mold. Is just like, you depending on broken people because they're not in their right mind frame mentally or emotionally or even spiritually to question you, to challenge you, or to say, well, what is this really about, or what is the goal and the purpose of this group or this code or whatever you want to call it. And so when I look at these situations, I be like, these guys like a nature boy, they only able to operate and exist at the rate that they are is because they depend on the souls and people of broken people. You know what I'm saying? And, like, that's really what it is. Because I can never join no stuff like this. I just be shaking my head like, how do people fall for this? I get it. You probably depressed, broken. You might be homeless, might not have nowhere to stay, and you looking for any type of acceptance or validation that somebody give to you because maybe you didn't get it in your household growing up. But it's like that's where like common sense and then also that's where knowledge of self and self-awareness is supposed to kick in at that moment. You know what I'm saying? Because these people come to you with smiling faces and act like, oh, we accept you, we love you, we your family, you ain't got no money, I'm gonna put some money in your pocket. You ain't got this, I'm gonna make sure you good. But really the intentions behind it is not good. Really they trying to like they basically love bombing you in so many ways to where once you feel accepted by them and you feel validated by them, now they can get you to do whatever it is the hell they want you to do because you feel like you down with them, you feel like you belong or a part of something with them. But their reasons for them wanting you to be down with them is not a good reason for you to be down with them. It's coming from like a malicious probably I would say manipulative type of standpoint. And so I just feel bad that people get caught up in these situations, but also it's like, man, people just got to start using common sense.
But I mean, but at the same time, I'm not sure. Did you watch the documentary at all?
I haven't seen all of it. I think I watched maybe like the first few episodes, but like I said, I watched the real Nature Boy in real time. Like I was around from the beginning, like when all of this, like before it even transpired to what it became, and all. Like I seen all of that, so I'm familiar with the story. Like you know what I'm saying?
Right. So like, well, one of the things, I mean, and I totally agree with you. And I was listening to what, like, especially the people who ended up, testifying against him that once were a part of the group or whatever, they all had that same type of story. You know what I mean? Didn't know what they wanted to do with their lives. Felt like they didn't fit in, felt lost. You know what I mean? Wanted to be accepted, all those things. So do you think I think it's a little bit deeper than just having common sense, respectfully. You know what I'm saying?
No, it is. That's why I brought up all those different points before I said that. But I think, when you're at your lowest point in your life, when you're not thinking clearly because emotionally you're damaged, spiritually you're damaged, mentally you're damaged, that's when you really have to really depend on common sense the most, because in those moments you're very like vulnerable, you're very weak. You know what I'm saying? Because people will play off of your insecurities, they'll play off of you being depressed, because these people can see those things on you. They can see that that you're desperate to belong, to want to belong to something, that you want to be a part of something. And like I said, they'll come to you with smiling faces, and they'll be very cunning and comforting towards you and say, hey, we got your back, nobody else accepted you, we accept you, oh, you ain't got no family, we gonna be your family. Like they'll do all of this with smiling faces, and you'll think that they're being genuine because you don't know no better, because you just want to be accepted so bad. But really it's just them playing in your face temporarily until they can get you comfortable enough with them to where now they got you where they want you. Now they can get you to do anything they want you to do, because now you feel like you belong to something, you're a part of something. So that's kind of like why I said, like in those moments where you down and you just not being yourself and thinking clearly, that's what common sense is supposed to kick in, because that's the only thing that's going to really be dead. And like praying is really going to be like your only saving graces in those moments, because you are already not feeling the best about yourself or thinking highly of yourself in those moments.
I totally agree. I don't know. That's why I think I didn't see everything from the beginning, but from the parts that I did see, I was just like, whoa, this is crazy. And when he got arrested, I mean, that shit hit my local news. I live in Georgia, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, this nigga was in a whole
Oh yeah,
community, you know what I'm saying, in a cul-de-sac
yeah.
doing this shit. Like he was brazen with it at that point, you know. But when you were watching it, like observing it like from afar and like maybe like some years ago, what were your like initial thoughts though? What were you thinking when you were
I
watching
was
it?
just I was just like, and like I said, I understand when you a person that's broken in those different type of ways. I understand how you can become a victim of those things, but I also was like, man, is this really happening? Like, do people really go for this? Like, people really actually like buying into this BS, and like, it just and I get it. Like, everybody may not be like, you know, strong as me or just, you know, look at things as clearly as me in certain ways, but it's just, for me, it was just like man, like I can't believe I'm seeing people like be a part of something that has like no substance to it, that makes no sense, and you know they letting this clown really just like control their life and act like he's like a god over them. Like I just like I couldn't believe it. It was just like watching. It's like watching a TV show or a movie, and it's like you don't believe it. But this is like real life going on, and you just like, bro, this is crazy.
Right. Yeah. I was I definitely was thinking the same thing for the episodes that I did watch, because I was just like, man, I think it was a little bit more disturbing, I think, to see like all the positive feedback that they was getting in the chat and stuff, because people would show up in the hundreds, you know what I'm saying, to watch that shit.
Yeah, he had a whole he had a whole sector. Like he had a whole sector, you know, that was his, and man, like, and people used to watch this. And you know what? I gotta be honest too, because if I'm gonna speak on it, I'm gonna speak on it all the way. I'm not gonna just speak on it half-sidedly, but you know, part of the problem, it wasn't just his followers that were following him in real time, you know, that was part of his cult, that was problem. The people that was also part of the problem, and probably just as much as the problem, was the people that was watching it and, you know, contributing to it, you know, financially, because they thought it was just funny or entertaining. And it's like, nah, this is real people's lives that are like in the balance and hanging in the balance on here. And y'all think this is funny because y'all know y'all would never fall for this BS and do this, but y'all up here like, you know, y'all co-signing this BS by, you know, supporting this man. Y'all up here cash apping this man, super chatting this man for all of this foolishness. And then you wondering why his ego just keeps getting more and more bigger, and he's more emboldened to do what he does, because y'all are financially incentivizing this foolishness on here. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, man, this is crazy. And it's like so many people that got caught up in this stuff, and it's just sad. Like, you know, you had women that, you know, joined his code that literally was taken away from their kids and their families, and it got too crazy and out of hand.
Yeah. I agree. Not sure if you were let me see here, the video that we was looking at when you know, him and Young Pharaoh would get into it, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, after listening to his reasoning, I could really respect the reason why, you know, Young Pharaoh was pulling up on him, you know what I'm saying? Because he was just, like you said, he was just doing too much. He's taking, you know, bits and pieces from people, you know, who actually are respected, you know what I'm saying, and actually are trying to, you know, who are living more on a positive wavelength, you know what I'm saying? So he was just like, I felt like, you know, I gotta come correct you. I gotta get you up out the way, you know, because this is not what my message is for. You know, did you agree, or did you, you know, see the validity in his arguing back and forth with Nature Boy? Okay, I guess he's gone. Something must have happened with his audio. Okay, we're gonna continue. Omni, you still there?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right, no problem, Third Ward. Okay, let's go.
Actually run into one of those people. For example, and I'm going to give it right back to you after this. You have a guy. I'm still. I'm giving it right back to you after this. You have a guy over there behind you right now by the name of Musa. Now, Musa has self-admitted to having herpes. Now, why is this important? If nobody knew that Musa was over there sleeping with that white girl, and y'all kick that white girl out and she come over here, she can infect one of us with herpes. If nobody knew that Musa had herpes and you kick Musa out, he can come over here and infect one of us with herpes. So my thing is this. And I'm end on this and I'm going to pass it back. I don't understand why y'all or certain people with the name Christ don't know how to focus on the task. When I was getting on Polite, I got on Polite for scamming. But people kept saying, y'all should debate. This is not about a debate. This is about doing wrong by other human beings. When I'm getting on you, I'm getting on you for a multitude of things. One being keys in the money situation, another one being spreading STD situation, another one being you hitting on the women situation, and another one it's so many I can't even go down the damn line. But the point is,
Can you get a list of them? Can you get a list of the things that you have a problem with?
I have a list of them, but I'm gonna pass it back to you because I'm not gonna come up. I'm a even though whatchamacallit, I got a lot to say. I respect people's platforms. I'm gonna pass it back to you and let you.
Come on.
You now that is your turn. You can ask me whatever or say whatever. But I had to get that out.
I don't have a response to anything you said. My only thing is this. My only. I don't have a big response to what I say. I have a question for you. What would you like me to do?
What you mean? I would like for you to stop spreading STDs. Take that damn baby to a hospital. Okay? Stop allowing women to give birth to illegally immigrant, alien, undocumented children, and all of the other.
Wait, hold on. Let me get this straight. So number one, you want me to stop spreading STDs?
Yes, that's the primary.
Okay, so if you want me to stop spreading STDs,
I mean, at the very least, my nigga, like, what part doesn't he understand? Oh my God.
can you yourself prove that I have STD?
Did you not admit that you came in contact with a woman who has herpes? Did Velvet not say she got herpes?
Damn.
Yes or no? Velvet said that. Okay. The dude behind you said he got herpes too. So if y'all all having sex with each other, is that not spreading STDs? If you said out your mouth that not only Serenity came over there with HIV, but that you have had multiple encounters with partners who have HIV, Mike Brown, who is your ex-lover.
Wait, Mike Brown?
Good.
Hold on. Mike Brown.
Yes,
He means Michelle. He means Michelle Brown. He means Michelle Brown.
Huh?
Right?
What you mean?
He said Mike Brown was
No.
his lover. He means Michelle Brown, right?
No, there was a
Sorry,
guy.
he means Michelle.
No. During his male exotic dancing days, he found a sugar daddy.
Oh,
named
so he gay.
Mike.
You said male exotic dancer. That's all I needed to know. He gay.
Yes,
Gotcha.
he admitted earlier to being gay for pay when he first, I guess, was of age. He grew up in the foster care systems, kicked out, all that type of stuff, right? Didn't have nowhere to go, blah blah blah. So that's what he did. He used what he got to get what he want. You know what I'm saying? But his sugar daddy's name was Mike Brown. If you I think they actually do have a picture of him in the documentary, though.
I and every heterosexual man in the chat will agree to what I'm about to say. There's no such thing as gay for pay.
Bruh, that's what I was saying. But hey, I'm just quoting because I don't like to label folks and this, that, the third. That's just what he said. I agree, though. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're just gay. Because if you're willing to be gay for any amount of money, then that means you're compromised. That's all that is.
Yeah, you know what? I did skip that step. My bad. Yeah, he was being intimate, with little boys and stuff. He didn't have.
Wow.
I'm not sure if it was his foster parents or the foster home. I don't know how he got started, but yeah, he was doing that type of stuff when he was younger too. So, and that's a lot of people, they don't understand about like the whole fast, term when they talk about children. You know what I'm saying? Like, this should be pissing me off because kids usually, like, if they exhibit that type of behavior early, is because somebody taught them before they were supposed to learn. You feel what I'm saying? Kids don't know how to process that shit. They don't know what's appropriate and what's not. So it's like, I don't know. Again, no excuses, but it could definitely contribute to his over sexual, you know what I'm saying? Just like obsession in general. But yeah, Mike Brown was his lover.
Okay.
You're having symptoms of seborrheic dermatitis. Listen, go like this on your edge up and come to the camera.
Yeah, this is seborrheic.
That is a symptom of HIV.
No, it's not.
Look, I got the post you posted, Nature Boy. You went to medical. Look. You went to medical. you went to web medical. You went to web.
This nigga done screenshotted his stream to see what he was looking at on the other tabs. I'm dead. Y'all gotta make sure you're careful out there, content creators, man, because you never know what people are looking for or looking at.
Yeah.
WebMD.
But there's a list of reasons why people can have seborrheic dermatitis.
True, that's very true. I guess he's just more using and substantiating it off of the other members who had left, the other members who claim to, have contracted these different diseases and how the culture was while they were there. You know what I'm saying? No protection,
sure.
Willy-nilly, whatever. So, and maybe he said something in maybe a prior stream to make Young Pharaoh think this, because Young Pharaoh's not really the one to be jumping out of windows like that. Not in my opinion. He usually backs up his stuff, so I'm not sure if he maybe alluded to something or if he said something. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of different reasons why you could have that type of dermatitis. For me, it's very telling when somebody like over pursues something. You know what I'm saying? Like they just go to like all different types of links to explain or legitimize whatever they're saying. So when he started doing that, I was like, nigga.
Yeah.
You do it too much. I don't know. But again,
too much in a defensive position.
Yeah. And just the over explaining. Hold on, let me pull this up and let me do this, and it was just too much. I was like, wow, somebody is really trying to convince somebody else that that's not what's going on. But if it's not what's going on, then it's just not what's going on. Like, it should be that simple. But all right, I'm gonna play a little bit more of this. Been on here for a few hours, and I'm gonna wrap it up. Let me just see where else they're gonna go. Like I said, they're gonna go back and forth with these WebMD facts and this, that, and the third. Let me get back to them talking. See, they doing this for like 5-6 minutes, showing web results and this, that, and the third.
No, wait, but I'm trying to address what you're saying. I want people to understand.
Wait, if that's a fact, if the mind and stress is the origin of all disease, how do you believe that it's a possibility that you could have seborrheic dermatitis, but it's not a possibility that you could have HIV?
Because first of all, I had this all my life. I had this all my life. I had this all my life.
How can one sickness be real and another sickness?
I had this all my life. Bro, listen, let me tell you something. And I've had this all my life. I've been tested and came out negative every time I've been tested for the HIV virus. I have 4 beautiful children, healthy, beautiful children. Osiris, I had this before Osiris. I went to the hospital, had my children. Every woman I ever slept with should be HIV positive, but they're not. No one that ever slept with me is HIV positive at all.
How you know that?
Because I know.
Is Mike Brown HIV positive? Is Mike Brown HIV positive? Is Mike Brown HIV positive?
I'm telling you this.
Is Mike Brown HIV positive?
Bro, listen, I don't know what that man. That's that man's business. Listen to what I'm saying to you.
Together, and he's allegedly HIV positive.
Listen to what I'm saying to you.
And he's allegedly HIV positive.
Then you said Mike was my lover. Why would you ever say that, brother?
Because according to the picture y'all got together, plus the phone recording that we have him on, plus the text messages that Pocahontas said said that she sent you texting Mike Brown.
Okay, so
these
you have
names
those
I'm sorry, Pocahontas this time just hit different. I don't even really. I normally don't even do the pause stuff, but I was like, wait a minute, what? Pocahontas? What's up, Frieza? It's me and Omni up here. See, I told you about that Abby, but do you, player? What's up, Zyrax? Good afternoon. Good to see you. Oh my God, Pocahontas. That was crazy.
Try to play me like that wasn't your lover.
Wait.
He got a big ass picture.
You try to say Mike
got a
Brown
big ass
is
picture
my-
of you in
you
his
try to say
office.
Mike Brown is
And
my
he got a
gay
big
lover.
ass picture. So are you telling me that Mike Brown was not sending you anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 every month for hush money? That he don't got a big ass picture of you in his office? That he don't allegedly got HIV and that you never text him talking about something? It's a rainy day and I'm just thinking of you and some other shit. And that somebody said they missed
Yo,
the
bro,
porn
let me
site.
ask you a question. No.
That's a fact.
You getting listen. This is what you doing, right? This is what you doing.
No, is that not a fact?
Let me hear you. It's not a fact.
That
No,
was
it's not a
your
fact.
lover,
It's
Eve.
not a
That
fact.
was your
No, it's not a fact. Let me explain now, bro. Let me talk to you real quick. Let me talk to you. So listen. At the end of the day, what you're doing is you're saying, am I gay or am I? Because I was.
No, I'm not asking you are you gay. I'm not asking you are you gay. I don't want you to words my mouth. I just asked you, have you ever had sexual contact with Mike Brown?
Listen to what I'm saying.
And he's HIV positive.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
Don't put words in my mouth, though.
Do you have proof? Do you have proof that he's HIV positive?
No, I'm asking you. Because that's what word. That's what.
Bruh,
listen,
show me the proof.
I don't have that man's
Mike
medical record.
Brown. Show me the proof that Mike Brown is HIV positive. Then show me the proof that I'm his lover. Show me the proof.
Okay, wait a minute. Is you
Show
gonna let
me
me go
that
to
I'm
it?
Mike Brown's
I'm
lover.
finna go to it. I'm finna go to it right now. I'm going to it. So
Mike
I'm
is
going
like
to
my fucking pops.
Okay, I
Mike
know
is like
he
my
is.
fucking pops. All that you know, Mike is like
So
my
why?
pops.
So why was y'all texting each other talking about y'all missed the porn side, the porno side?
Show me those text
Oh,
messages. I want to see the
Lord.
text messages, bro.
Oh my
I
God.
want to see those text messages.
Oh, so are you calling Pocahontas a liar?
I'm calling Pocahontas a lie. If she told you that, I want to see those text messages.
Okay. Bro,
Bro, listen to me. What
Nonsense.
I'm not changing the subject, but I have to say this.
Oh my
I'm
God.
talking to you, right?
Let's
While I'm
stay
listen, while I'm
focused
talking
on
to
the subject because you
you,
went
but
there
listen,
about
while
her.
I'm listen, stay calm. Stay calm. While I'm talking to you, I think it's disrespectful if people in the background ad-lib. And I say that to say this, because if I curse one of them out, they're gonna be upset. So I ask that you just tell your tribe. Yeah, to keep it between me and you, because the next time somebody get fly, I'm gonna violate their ass, especially Rambo, with his premature baby sleeping in the tent having ass. And so niggas better shut the
Damn.
fuck up. Yeah, it is. And so niggas better shut the fuck up. Whoever that was, Rambo Musa, with his deadbeat father leaving in Babylon, hurt.
Come on, you being negative now.
So tell him to
Let's
be
calm
quiet.
down.
Tell him to be quiet. Tell him to be quiet.
This is not funny, but it's funny.
Okay, that's right. Tell him to calm down. Tell him to calm down. I don't mind talking to you, but all that
Calm
extra
down.
shit,
Everybody chill.
we're not
Everybody
doing that.
chill.
That's
Everybody
not
chill.
what we doing.
Nobody say
Because
nothing.
you don't get out of pocket.
Nobody say nothing. Nobody chill. Just chill. We just want to get to the
All
knowledge.
right, you could listen. You could continue. So my point is this.
No. Can you turn the picture around? Can you turn the picture back around, please?
Can you let me go? I'm going to turn the picture around. Is you going to give me time to flip through these images and show you what you said?
Oh, you okay.
Okay. Now I'm pulling them up so I can have them side by side, because apparently I don't got.
What's up, Keon? Welcome to the show.
What's happening with you?
Shoot, chilling like a villain. How's your day going?
What's happening, Keon?
All right, it's going. What's up with you, brother? I couldn't go to church today, but I had the Bubble Guts played all day today, so I was.
Hey, that's real shit.
Got to be more careful.
So I was chilling at home, man, or I would have been at church by now, but now I'm just watching. You know, you going through this whole. I don't know. I was there for the whole Nature Boy becoming Nature Boy situation, so. I don't know, man. To me, this shit was funny until he started talking about children and bringing on white women and FBI investigations and stuff like that. It was all jokes and games, you know. His whole Bigo career era, that was
Right.
hilarious, you know. But you know, once they started doing investigations and stuff, that's where I was like, oh man, I gotta go. I can't support this. Then he said something about a child, him watching his kids, or him having sex in front of his kids or something like that.
Bruh.
I'm like, man, you done lost your complete absolute mind, boy. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, it definitely was a progression, right? In terms of like how he got to be, you know what I'm saying, to the weird shit, you know, because you want to be living out in nature and stuff like that. I ain't got no problems with that. You know what I mean? But like as the years went by and then he started changing his name and, you know, more identifying and trying to make people worship him and acting like he's a second coming. Oh, matter of fact, Keon, I'm surprised. Did that offend you? I know you love your Jesus.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, shoot, I wouldn't say it offended me, but you know, it made me concerned, you know, for his health. If anything, I don't know about offensive though. But go ahead.
Oh, okay. I feel that. I like that. He said shit. I don't know about his health, goddamn, but all right, because Elijah to Christ. I know people. That was one of his names. He called himself Chief. 3 God, I believe, was the last one that he
Yeah, that's the last one.
Yeah, we had looked over whatchamacallit. Matter of fact, hold on, because do you know where to find that? Because I was playing the Sinetta broadcast when that happened. Give me 1 second.
Find what specific? What you thought? Just the interview?
The last interview where he had the 3 on his face and hit them cat nails and he breastfed and all that crazy stuff.
That is crazy. One, that's disgusting, and 2, though, in a way, him calling himself that did kind of offend me, to be honest, because no human is God, though, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's also a form of blasphemy as well, him doing that. And I'm not the one to say that, though. He himself is doing that, though, you know. So I'm not the one to call out to mean other people's sins, because I'm the one who's flawed and could be exposed anytime. But it's actually one of the facts, and also the credible witness, too, and also, though, based on all of that, you know. I'm just giving perspective. So based on that, though, I take offense to that.
It was just something that dawned to me because I know Keon's background. I was just playing with you though.
No, I know.
Yeah, I found I mean, it's 4 hours though, but I found something where it's like somebody's recording it because you know Sinetta he had to take it down, but it's like 3 hours. I don't know if you want to watch, or 3:52 actually. So.
Let me share in the main chat what I was playing earlier, because it was like he was reviewing it. So it was edited, and I don't think it was that long, but let me I'll find that real quick.
You talking about the 30-minute boy? Like 30 minutes long or something like that? I think
yeah. The one that I found. So let me get you that one. So at least you know what I'm saying. I don't know. I save a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying, just in case or what I would have a good laugh. Let me see here.
Good point.
Yeah, I keep mad folders. And then I'll be forgetting where I'll be putting stuff sometimes. I'll be like, God damn it.
Okay. LA the FBI, boy. You gotta watch
I'm
out.
I'm not
FBI.
I'm not FBI, bro. I'm not.
Oh yeah.
No, I went to, I don't know. It's just how my brain works. I went to school for journalism, Keon. So I never wanted to be in the front, you know what I'm saying? Like the person like on the camera. I wanted to do the research for the person who told the story, you know what I'm saying? So that's just my niche.
Okay, that's fair though. But I guess though God had the way I see it, God had a different plan for you. The way I see it though, I guess God had a different plan for you, I guess. You wanted to do something, but then in the end you end up doing something else. That just means though, you know, God just sent you a different plan. And it's working, I guess. You know, that just means you know.
Wait a minute. Okay, I see the link here.
I'm trying to man, like, oh, no, you should be in the front. This, that, like, no, like I just want to help. Like, put me in the back somewhere.
No, I get that.
I didn't like all that attention, but you know.
Despite that, you built yourself though, so I feel like, you know, I get you on what you mean, but despite that, you're doing good for yourself.
Thank you, Riaz. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Yeah, but kid, I'm not really FBI. I'm just basically smart.
Yes, you are.
So we was reading the first one.
Yeah, she said she was 16.
Okay. And she said, she said, my Babylon age is 16, and this is my Instagram page. I said, okay, I don't do the underage thing, Reflection. I know my enemy's trapped. Thanks for professing the kingdom. Keep going.
Now, this is you talking to her from Ileana. Now, I'm asking you a question. This is you talking to her from Ileana page? Because this is not your page.
No, this is me talking to her from my page.
No, it's not, motherfucker. It's excuse my language. Listen. I gotta calm
Your
down.
girl used to be cracking me up,
Nature
bro.
Boy. It say Eliana. This is not your page.
That's Eliana's page. That's Eliana. She posted that. She posted that on her page. On her page, she posted that picture. That's my inbox. She posted that on her page. Can you please relax? Stay calm.
Okay. So this is my point.
All right.
This is my point. This is my point. You didn't post. This is my point. This is my point. You didn't post these receipts. She sent you this. Listen, this is my point. She sent you. Okay, listen. No, Eliana posted them and took them down. Eliana posted them and took them down. They're not even up no more. So this is my point.
Eliana, I posted them. Everybody posted them. We all.
So why y'all take them down?
Because it's nothing. Because we already proved it wrong. We don't want to have that.
No, you didn't. Okay, that's cool. Now let me ask you a question. Would you be willing to unblock her on WhatsApp so that she can scroll through y'all WhatsApp messages?
Absolutely.
All right.
She's not blocked. She's not blocked. I can show you my WhatsApp.
Okay. I mean, listen. If that's your defense, and the people fine with that, cool. We don't gotta dwell here. And what I will say is this. Okay, because I'm having a problem with the disease existing in the mind thing because Mama Dia did die from her illness.
All right, wait. Before we transition, before we just switch out to another thing. Okay, so let's deal with one thing at a time. So now we talked about the HIV and seborrheic dermatitis, right? Seborrheic dermatitis, 5% of the population, which is 16 million people, have the condition of seborrheic dermatitis, which means that's not. And not 85,
all right, so they still talking about this dermatitis crap. Oh my god.
This is what I was doing from where so that you can understand where I was coming from, so people can understand where I was coming from. So this person people were in fear about HIV. The truth is that in my mind, I had sex with a lot of people, right? So I was telling them, I never knew that somebody was HIV positive and had sex with them. Never did I ever know that. Ever. That was positive. I was trying to help make that person feel.
But why would you say you did? Why would
because
you say
I was.
I'm sorry, just really quick. Yeah, I think it's just a very arrogant statement to be like, oh yeah, I had sex with a lot of people, but ain't none of them had HIV. Like, how do you know that? Like, I just think that's very arrogant. You know what I'm saying? Just
At the same time, you're not believing in any doctor. Like this is the whole movement that doesn't believe in going to the doctor or anything like that. That's
exactly
the logic wasn't logic in. Yeah.
No, it's almost like like that dumb notion, that just because she looked clean, what? Like, what does clean look like? You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know until it's too late, but people can, of course they gonna take pride in how they look, but everything that looks good ain't safe, So I don't know. I just was just like, damn, like this nigga is just like adamant that he knows for a fact that after all the encounters that he's had, ain't none of the people been infected with nothing, ever had anything. But now people in his camp are coming up infected. Like, heavy denial, El Boogie. Were you aware of that type of stuff that was happening, Keon? Like they mentioned a woman named Mama Dia, her passing away, premature children and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was aware of all for sure. And what's so crazy is that he still got females that are still part of Carbonation that'll defend that type of stuff, like the whole Mama Dia. I don't know if Sudden has still got it up, but he had an interview with current Carbonation, members. Like I think it was probably like in June of last year or something like that. Like when the Nature Boy stuff was actually still going on. And they were adamant, like Mama Dia, they were saying Mama Dia was not sick anymore. She just ended up, passing away. They would say that they think that it's okay to have sex in front of the kids. It's just all natural. Kids don't look at sex as this. What did they say? Kids don't look at sex as like this sexual thing, I guess is what they was trying to say. They look at it as more innocent. Yeah, man, like they're nuts, man. I ain't gonna hold you. They're nuts as hell. Go ahead though.
No, I didn't know it was that deep because like I didn't hear, you know, all that stuff. I wasn't privy of the Facebook stuff. I only caught like stuff here and there. It was too disturbing to me. You know what I'm saying? Just like the whole
Whoa.
side of it. It was surprising to hear all this stuff, like how serious it actually got.
Yeah.
Wait, can I be for even me? I felt the same with you. I didn't actually know about that a lot until people started talking about it a lot and stuff, you know. And I actually started hearing about it. That's when I started to know. So based on that, I'm kind of in the same boat as well, you know.
But yeah, I think the whole downfall of Nature Boy definitely came because of that white girl. You know what I mean? He
That's what I said. I was like, as soon as they got the white girl, they was like, oh hell no, we got to get Becky out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Her parents
I
came to
wouldn't
school
say
for
just
her.
a white girl. I just think though his, you know, truthfully, you know, based on his own actions, he's his own downfall because his own arrogance is also, you know, you can add that in, no, I agree. But I was also saying you could add in his own arrogance though is the main reason for his own downfall.
No, you can say that, but
Yeah.
If you can have a pinpoint where it all went bad, I'm just saying that's when they start doing the investigation on because her parents, what's the her parents what's the word as missing
Reported her as missing.
Reported her as missing. Yeah. So
yeah,
that's what I'm trying to tell you, Riz. If he was still doing this to, you know, us, I don't think they would give a damn. I'm gonna be honest.
Damn, you think so?
Wait,
Because I don't think so. And I only say that because, like I said, by the time that he had, you know, it finally got to the point where they were like, you know, it's time to go in and arrest him. I mean, they were in a cul-de-sac of a subdivision in the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? Like the police had been called out so many times for welfare checks and stuff like that because of the neighbors reporting them. I think it would have been a matter of time regardless. But
yeah, I get where Keanu's coming from, but I'm kind of agreeing with Leslie on this one too. But I get you on what you're saying. That was a point though where it led up to. I'm not disagreeing with you. I fully agree with you. I just feel though like, you know, when you add in his own arrogance, right? Him thinking he can get away with it, he could not actually. I agree with you based on what you're saying, but his own arrogance also adds up to it, and his own arrogance led to his own downfall though, you know, because it's based on his own actions though, and at some point though it would have just led up to it. It's like a combination of a lot of things.
Yeah, because he wasn't even supposed to get life, like but his disruption in the courts and stuff is why they decided to give him life plus 10 years, you know. So because ultimately, I think he was really just facing, I believe, like 30 to 40 years, you know. But him acting like he's three God, you know, disrupting the courts, firing his lawyer mid sentence, I think it was, or mid
trial.
Mid trial.
Oh, I got to see this. You mean to tell me he was the original? If you think I came to play. God damn it, I'm not. He was the original one?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find it for you. The whole like trial video, that shit is hilarious, brother. Like hold on. Let me see if I can go ahead, LA.
No, you're good. I'm not sure how to pronounce this name. It says not true. The only reason is that he moved around. It took so long for him to get caught? I mean, possibly. Sure, you keep bouncing from, you know, country to country and stuff like that, and yeah, it's going to be a little tricky, especially just based off of you know, just in live streams and stuff like that, like no tangible evidence.
Yeah.
You know,
Wait, is that why it's called a digital? Sorry, I was just gonna say, is that why they call it a digital footprint for a reason? So what you think is this online thing, though, and if you just can, it would have just, you know, led up to a digital footprint, and they would have just find his IP address anyway. Him like moving here to there, changing his IP address, they would have just, you know, tracked all of it and built a case around it, and they would have found him anyway, you know. I'm just saying that based on perspective thing, based on info, and based on, you know, credible witness thing, though, because one, though, I don't call out or demean other people's sins because me and myself, I commit worse sins, and also, though, you judge righteously. And I only say I give perspective. So that's his perspective talking.
Mm-hmm. No, I feel you.
Because real judgment, because to me, real judgment is God. God is actually the real judge of everything. So what you think you're getting away with, you're not really getting away with. God just let that happen. And when actually you think you're comfortable, you're down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the truth of the matter. That's why I was like, okay, Keon, I respect you. He was like, it's bad for his health. Like, you ain't got to feel no type of way about it. I feel you on that shit.
I'm about to say he got life in prison, not me. You know. Go ahead.
Right? And then who knows after that, you know?
Exactly.
When he in the upper room or lower room. I'm not sure which. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Where actually.
That person make them feel like, yo, like, relax. Because at the end of the day, they was like, listen,
but do you understand?
Listen to what I'm saying to you. Listen to what I'm saying to you. My intent was to calm that person down. There was people coming to me about it. I was like, listen, relax. Because this is what I knew. That HIV, just because you test positive for HIV does not mean that you have a deficit. It means that you have an immune system that's going against itself. Now, HIV does not exist itself. That's what I was teaching. I was teaching this a long time ago.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait. Stop. Wait.
Okay.
No.
Hold on.
Wait.
Okay, I got you.
Are natural proteins in the body.
Yep.
Did he say HIV does not exist itself? So people walking around with imaginary AIDS. That's crazy.
Yeah, Easy E is still living, according to this nigga. You know.
Right. He heard of Magic Johnson, and you know he went crazy. You know what I'm saying? He went nuts. Oh, okay. Let me save this one. Yeah, that's why I was like, this shit was crazy. You know, like content creators, you know, when we see certain stuff online, and like I said, some people are just like, oh, like it's not a big deal. It's just entertainment, blah, blah, blah. Right. But when these people's, you know, streams are being used in court, seen as legitimate evidence, like it hits a little different, man. So shouts out to, I know it was the T 24/7. She was featured. Her a lot of her footage was featured, but I did save the one that you sent in, that you put in the back too. So I'll check that out. You just never know. So you know what I'm saying? You got to, as a content creator, just do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, especially if it's something that's important to you, you just never know what can come of it.
No, that's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. That's why I be telling people, like, just keep uploading. You know what I mean? Don't get discouraged, because you know, eventually, like you may not hit the $1 million mark, or you may not hit the 1 million subscriber mark, but you know, eventually you're gonna end up like Sharon, you know, where Tommy just pop up on his panels randomly now. You know what I mean? So you know, just keep going. You know.
Yeah.
Keep going.
You know what they say? Sorry, I was gonna say is though as well. They say consistency beats talent. Because look, there's many talented people in the world, but the most successful people is the most consistent people. But I don't know, to be honest. I don't know, to be honest, but I guess though it makes sense though. I kind of agree to that statement in a way. Just gotta remain consistent. Of course, use your talent, but also remain consistent with it, and then you'll succeed though. That's what I see it as, you know. I just be doing my thing though. I know I just basically give her credit to God first, then I just do my thing though, and I just hope where it goes, you know. That's what I like to do. So I feel you on what you're saying though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of what I'm doing right now. Still, you know, chipping away at my monetization. You can't let people or anything like, you know, their opinions and stuff like that stop you. I know I don't have the most lit channel, but I like my crowd. You know what I'm saying? I like the people who hit my panels. We have great conversations, and then that's all I need, really. You know what I'm saying? Until I get exposed to more people, and you know, they choose to gravitate or they don't. You know, but it's all just, you know, these are topics and things that I really do have.
I agree with you. I agree with you though, you know, just like this thing though with me. I just focus on my music related stuff. I like to promote UK hip hop culture. Of course, I can do anything else though, and I'd like to, and I've done it before. But I just focus on UK hip hop culture because that's what I enjoy the most. I'd rather do something that I like to do though, because that's just what I want to do, because it's my thing. So I do take into, if people request stuff, I'll take requests and stuff. But on TikTok, right, I'm already monetized there, and I'm making it, and I've also gotten like, you know, the people, the UK artists I support, I've got some of them to literally repost me though. Actually, they literally watch me and they reposted me.
Yeah, I know that that's definitely your lane. You know what I'm saying? Riaz loves the UK grime, you know. So, but there's other
Grime,
people who
UK grime and UK hip hop. So there's more than just grime. So you know, in the UK, there's more than just grime. Grime is one aspect of UK culture. So you got UK grime, road rap, UK trap. Then you have Afro swing. Then you got real rap lane. Then you've got the trap wave lane, though. Then I think you got jungle, then you got drum and bass, then you got garage. There's a lot of genres, and you have the alternative scene as well, and you also have drill and trap though. So there's a lot actually. I just focus on the ones that I like to enjoy the most. You know, I focus on grime because I enjoy grime, and also focus on the main UK hip hop scene, and also it's also interesting as well. There's also a South Asian rap scene within the UK hip hop scene too, though. They just collaborate with each other, but then sometimes the South Asian rap scene is its own thing too, actually. So South Asian is like mostly Pakistanis and stuff. Majority Pakistanis and others.
Omni, what's your channel about? What would you say your focus is?
My Omni Etc. channel is purely gaming. My Word Up podcast, that's my social political commentary. I haven't been doing it much lately because too much is going on. Like it's crazy. But you know, after I already locked down my degree, so I'm gonna get back to it here shortly. I'm just taking like a little intermediary break.
Yeah, for sure. And congrats on getting the degree. That's what's up.
Appreciate
Hey,
it.
congrats on that thing, though.
And
Congrats on that thing.
And Keon, are you planning on doing content? Thinking about it?
Eventually. Yeah, I mean, eventually, yeah. I mean, because I like doing panels. And you know that I can stay on a panel all damn day, you know, and just be talking about random stuff. So
Okay.
yeah, eventually, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking like a subtle beach sector kind of situation, you know, with topics, you know.
Oh, okay. No, that's interesting though, look, Keon. If you actually ever choose to start one though, bruh, I'll actually come and support you, you know. I'm
There
very
you go.
supportive thing. I like to network thing though. That's always been me thing, you know. So you actually wonder, well, I'm not really Arabic or anything like that. I'm actually ancestry Persian, but I'm more like I fall under the South Asian category. Pakistanis are South Asian though, because you know the southern region of Asia. So all Asians are different though. Actually, it's just mostly though. The only Asian you mostly will hear about is Chinese, Japanese, and South Korea. Pakistanis though, some people find it hard to, you know, see them as Asian though, because they're multi-ethnic.
No, I feel you. Yeah, they do be trying to leave out India and stuff like that. Like that's not a part of Asia. Like that's Asian too. Like
Yeah, but you know what I say, LA, though, to be? I feel like Indian and Pakistani are two different people. Once upon a time, they were one people, but they're not one people anymore. They're two different peoples with two different cultures. So
yeah, I can't even lie. I don't know enough about that historically to even speak on it.
yeah, I can tell you though. So basically, India, Pakistan were, you know, a long time ago, of course, history type thing. After under the Indo-Persians, they became Pakistani in the 1930s though, because they wanted to separate eventually. Then made official in 1947 with the partition. It's called the partition. And basically, the continent was partitioned. Though, but majority Muslim is Pakistan. But then people had to choose type thing, and the Brits split it and everything. And then it was like a bad thing because the borders were not drawn up properly, and they're still fighting over Kashmir. And that's just a summary of everything, but there's more than a lot actually.
I had one more question before we get on out of here.
Sure.
And this is, because like I said, I mean, yeah, I was talking about the Nature Boy documentary, but I also just wanted to talk about cults and like kind of group think as a whole. Do you guys ever see any type of and hold on, let me read this first. Let me read this first before I ask. Certain characteristics when it comes to cults and cult leaders, absolute authority centered on a leader, or in this situation, I guess a content creator who might be charismatic, feels like they are above criticism, or choose, or they felt like they're chosen in one way or another. They have us versus them type of worldview where outsiders are somehow dangerous or incapable of understanding. Control over information, limits what members can read, watch, discuss, suppression of critical thinking. Questions are interpreted as weakness or disloyalty. Strong behavior control, relationships, in terms of what people eat, what they wear, daily routines. Do you guys notice any type of cult-like behavior on YouTube?
There is a lot actually. If in general, though, I'm sure there is a lot in aspects, though. Is it displayed? Yeah, but I think it just varies though, because I wouldn't just confine it to one place or another. Because in general, though, without saying name type thing, I guess it's all over the place. It's just some people just choose, some people just like me and you just choose to think freely and we go wherever we want to go to, free agent thing. But I guess some people just choose to do that, and that's in general, though. Some people just have that type of thinking, so. I'm not gonna look down on that, but I guess some people do have that to an extreme extent.
I just asked. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Keon. Go ahead. I wasn't sure if I had said too much, or if I needed to repeat the question.
No. You was, from my understanding, you was just asking, is there like cults on YouTube? And for sure, there's definitely groups of individuals that I would even say they almost see themselves through these people, you know what I mean? And that's why it even becomes a little cultish or a little bit fanboyish, in my opinion, because it's like they're living their lives like, I'm watching I Show Speed in Africa because I ain't never been to Africa, you know what I mean, type situation. So, yeah, definitely a lot of cults in this space for sure.
Yeah, I feel you though. That makes sense though, actually, So yeah, that actually does make sense though, bro. I get you on that aspect too,
Yeah.
I don't really watch Speed like that, but I've actually seen some clips and everything like that about him though and everything. So yeah, that actually makes sense though,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Omni? You got any thoughts on cult-like behavior on YouTube?
Yeah, and God, I hate that I'm this guy right now, but I see it a lot with the followership of female influencers. That's what
the followership of female
influencers. Yes. For instance, there was this. I can't think of her name, but I came across this story just the other day of this female influencer that was putting out misandrous content, like I hate men, marriage is a scam, marriage is slavery, and all of this. And she's recently engaged, and she's about to get married now to a man.
Common grifter.
And her following was like, yeah, you could have gotten married on the low. Why did you tell us? Like, you shouldn't have told us. You should have. So they're comfortable being lied to. This is what I'm saying.
Okay.
This is yeah. So they're comfortable being lied to, and you know what I'm saying. They wanted a lie that they can believe in, and I think that particular type of individual is why cults exist. The person that just wants a lie to believe in and wants to take comfort in the lie.
Oh, you have a point though. I get you on that aspect. That actually makes sense though, I feel you though. That's like, I use the music analogy too, because that's what I like to do. Sometimes in the bottom tier of, UK grime culture, right? For example, you get that mindset too sometimes though, actually, relating to this though. Bottom tier, right? Some people have this mindset though, if you experiment or if you deviate from the way they want you to do it, you're not considered part of this genre. You consider like, nah, you ain't kind, or like, that type of thing. And some of these guys with that mindset, right? Some of them are like 30, 40-year-old men though, right? And they're like, they failed as an MC or as an artist, right? But they're mad that younger people taking advantages of opportunities they never had, right? And instead of taking personal accountability, they have kids, but they hate on kids, but they sit on a podcast all day complaining about all the scenes like this and that. And, back in our day, it's not like this. Like, okay, look, you keep what the foundations of the scene is, but evolve it with the times. And with that mindset, though, right? If they keep doing that, you're going to push younger people out of the genre. And slowly over time, it's going to get phased down, That's why they had like 3 waves, though, They had like 3 waves and they go back in the underground type thing, because with that kind of mindset, they don't realize you need a youth movement to keep it going. Yes, you can keep it OGs. Even OGs though, literally respected older OGs, OG MCs, legends though, literally say the same thing I'm saying. They're saying, look, it's not a high school reunion thing. The scene needs to evolve. Yes, we did this back in the day and we keep the foundation, but they themselves are saying the same thing as me though. Scorcher said it, Skepta said it, These guys literally, they're respected names saying what I'm saying,
All right. Riaz, definitely you cooking with that grind, man. You know your stuff, boy. I'll be like, okay, you got if there's ever a category in Jeopardy and is you answering all the questions, bro. Like you got it for the team, for real.
Yeah,
right,
but I say use that analogy because it's simple too, because and the whole point is though, based on the question you asked though, you're right. But I guess the YouTube thing, yeah, I agree with you. So I use that analogy because it's easier to explain my point. So yeah, it's pretty good stream and everything and stuff like that.
Thank you. I appreciate your input. I know sometimes I do topics and that are kind of intense and they have subject matter that is a little, it could be a little touchy, but I appreciate your your commentary. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. I do appreciate you asking me good questions and stuff, I appreciate you asking me questions because I even have to start thinking, okay, look, I see where you're getting at with it and how to respond to it. Because it's actually good to ask questions type thing. So my final thoughts for real, Stefanos, please leave a like, a comment, share, connect to the host and everybody here and support everybody and help, one, the channel to grow and help, me and everyone else, grow too. And basically we're done.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, Riaz.
You're welcome.
Well said. Well said. All right, Omni. Thank you so much for for your commentary too. I know this is like, the documentary came out a while ago, but again, this is what I wanted to talk about. So I was just like, shit, I'm not going to waste the content. We can try to make it interesting. We can, definitely doesn't have to stay on just the Nature Boy thing, but just cults in general. So I appreciate you joining me. You have any final words before we get up out of here?
Oh, for sure. I appreciate you having me. I'm gonna ride with you every time, LA. When I catch you, sometimes I'll be busy, but when I see, I'll generally come up. And peace, love, health, wealth to everybody in the chat. Everybody that's checking it later on. Replay gang, do your thing, and what I'm saying. My usual thing to say is, lift every book and read, because reading is fundamental and fun to mental.
I like it. Okay.
Take care, LA.
All right. See you later, Omni. Appreciate you. That was Omni, y'all. Happy you. All right. Well, I had a lot of fun with you guys. Thank you all for watching and tuning in, both on the horizontal, vertical side and on Twitch. Appreciate y'all. let me see here. Shouts out to Riaz. We had Omni. We had Keon up on the panel giving his opinion. Third Ward, thank you so much, because you normally don't hit panels that much, so I appreciate you. And everybody that is watching right now, thanks for liking, sharing, subscribing. I got a few, actually a few ideas, or maybe our next topic based off of you guys' comments. Okay, so I love when the chat be chatting. Please keep it up, y'all, because you inspire me. Like I said, I'm a writer, so it's like everything that I think, you know what I'm saying, is I'm saving it for something. You know what I'm saying? I'm saving it for something. Every piece of information, I'm just like, that's interesting. Let me tuck it and put it in this file back here. So when I'm ready, I can pull it back out, right? So I appreciate y'all. You know, definitely replay gang. Leave a super thanks. Hype me up. All that good stuff. Keep your notifications on for the next show, okay? Until then, and like I always say, continue to be good to yourself so you can be good to others. See y'all next time. Bye, y'all.
The world is a real place where things aren't perfect. It's all about the journey and where are you going?